off the field, and that we know how.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
We're going to tackle what we got to do. All right, that's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake 396 bag. B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
We are definitely on the air, ready to rock rivers and shake lakes. It's the Friday edition of the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. Everywhere in the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Drew Olson, Bill Schmid. It's Armin Sarian Appreciation Day today because we make fun of our furry little Armenian producer who is off to a bachelor party in South Beach. He is South Beach Sarian. Yes, he's going to be wearing a romper at some point this weekend. Yes, he's going to bring his animated sports takes to conversations that may or may not be rooted in sports at the time. But Armin is not with us today pushing buttons. That means that Bill Schmid is behind the con. He is controlling the broadcast today. Billy, is it truly like riding a bike?
No, and Drew, I'll be completely honest with you. As you say, I guess I don't realize just all the stuff Armin actually does back here. You know that there's enough. Like, you know, you have to keep the train on the tracks. But when you haven't conducted it all, you forget that it's not just the man on the bandstand moving his fingers, I guess, up and down. So we're going to hear Doug Russell's update. We're going to get it in its entirety. I actually don't know what got over the air, what didn't. Because again, Drew, if riding a bike included making sure you knew where your headphones were, I'm like, why on earth are we so late? Why on earth is this happening? Well, it's because your boy didn't turn off his own 15-second delay. So we're finding different ways. We're getting through it. But yeah, I guess Armin does a little bit more back here while he's firing things in. So we are gonna make sure Doug Russell's update plays in its entirety because people need to get caught up on what they missed overnight.
They need their love muscle.
Holy cow!
There's no question. You can reach out to us because we're skating shorthanded because of South Beach Sarian, and it is the beginning of summer vacation season.
Sure.
Armin's just dipping for a day to go celebrate his cousin as he gets ready to walk down that aisle. So just a day. But we need audience participation today. NicoletLaw.com talking text lines open 877-794-1973. Now, the content gods in sports, it's getting to be low tide. We have an NBA Finals game tonight. We have an NHL Finals game last night. That was electrifying.
Big one.
Overtime win for the Carolina Hurricanes. Billy, that's so much for your dream of a Las Vegas Knights sweep.
Yeah, I was hoping the Knights were just going to go nix this thing through, but a heck of an ender last night into OT. Back and forth affair. Knights got up early, and then they tied it late. Carolina scored 3 goals in, I don't know, it was 5 or 6 minutes, Drew. And they sound the siren. That's their catchphrase, to make sure people are knowing that there's a hurricane warning. I mean, that thing was an F5 there for a couple of minutes. They were rolling through their category 5, but ultimately they get a win. And they say a series doesn't start until somebody wins on the other team's home floor or home ice. Well, both these series started right out of the gate. So right. I'm interested to see if San Antonio can do exactly what Carolina did last night and get themselves back in it, because, man, you go down 2-0 with those two at home. That's a different type of desperation that San Antonio plays with tonight.
Yep. We have, so we got, the NHL and the NBA are in the throes. It's every day now, the way the TV's laying out, which is nice.
They did a good job with that one, Drew.
They're laying that on ABC every night. So we'll have basketball tonight. Brewers almost scored a comeback for the ages yesterday, falling just short. David Hamilton with what would have been a game-tying homer to bring him back from a 12-3 deficit.
And it wasn't that close when it was 12-3, Drew. It felt like it was actually a more difficult and uphill climb when Jake Woodford reserve. I mean, I heard a couple of white flag Woodford was the nicknames that people were throwing out for him once he came into the game yesterday. But an Eric Haas grand slam, everyone was talking about the return of Willie Adames. Eric Haas said, "Excuse me, I'm also making my triumphant return to American Family Field," and blasted that one out. Oh man, David Hamilton, I didn't realize they had found a new slugger as their new shortstop, because I guess we didn't really think about it, Drew, when we were talking to Hunter yesterday. We'll hear Hunter's report, especially if I can figure out how to make sure that I play it in its entirety. Does it kind of feel like the Brewers have a new shortstop on the day in and day out basis with David Hamilton?
Seems to be leaning that way, and is he just keeping it warm for Cooper Pratt? That's something to think about. But yeah, the Brewers, Coleman Crow yesterday pitched the way you expect the Coleman Crows of the world to pitch, right? I mean,
100%.
That's where the Brewers are, and that's what should happen when guys like that with that kind of tenure go in and face a big league lineup. He lasted 7 outs, and the sad thing was they had DL Hall and Grant Anderson get hurt.
Dude, tough.
And then, so that depletes the bullpen. The Brewers gave up 20 hits in the game and still almost won, which is remarkable. It doesn't, again, no moral victories, but man, that would have been something else.
That would have been one to put into the playoff yearbook, right? Like that comeback is one of the main full pages when you go through the season highlights. Instead, the team down in Chicago had maybe that game last night. I think they came back 4 in the 9th, and PCA ended up walking it off with a base hit in the 9th inning against the A's. They're about to get swept by the A's, and they get up off the mat. You don't know when these things can turn, and I think, Drew, fans probably point to them a lot more than teams do. But I got to imagine when things are going as bad as they have on the north side, any positive can feel like a turning point. That one absolutely would feel like a little bit of a launch pad, because we talked about their schedule. They're getting these Giants and Rockies back to back in 12 games in order. This is a portion of the schedule where luckily the Brewers can get through with the Coleman Crows of the world, because they're playing some lesser competition. But man, their back end of their rotation is beat up, and neither the Hall or Anderson injury, when he gets hit by that rocket back to him, you can obviously tell that one. DL Hall's almost looks scarier, Drew, by the reaction of everybody sprinting out of the dugout in the middle of that at bat. That doesn't, you hope and don't want to speculate, but that doesn't seem like a necessarily short-term thing.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Like we said, 877-794.
He's been having a big year too.
197.3. So Brewers conversation is interesting in light of what happened yesterday. Some interesting post-game quotes from Murph, as always. But the content god smiled on us after our show yesterday when Christian Watson was awarded a 4-year, $110.5 million contract extension with the Green Bay Packers, an offensive weapon locked up. The second new contract that they've handed Watson in as many years, because he had a 1-year extension last year coming off the ACL to set everybody's mind at ease and set the stage for what happened yesterday. Now, Billy, it's one of those that, as with all Packer transactions, basically, there's no smoke there. You don't know that they're negotiating or they're in the closing stages of a deal. They just kind of pop, right? It's like, oh, Christian Watson still is done. We shouldn't be surprised because they signed Jaden Reed. And if you're going to give Jaden Reed the extension, you would think, well, Watson's higher on the pecking order in the food chain of wide receivers and weapons. They're both good players, but now they've got their 2 guys kind of under seal.
Yeah,
which is huge. That's the strategy, right? Yeah,
that's the strategy, and you can kind of make it into three pieces when you add in Matthew Golden, who at least we believe is going to be in there, and they now clearly have to have him be a part of it because of who you've clearly defined as your 3 main guys, and so much, I guess, for no number 1 wide receiver in the group. Right, when you're getting paid, when you're getting a 27.5 AV annual average value, you're going to get defined as the number 1. I think the talent has signified it, and I saw this a couple of times. I think it was Myron Metcalf who had it first. Of Christian Watson around the NFL, the reaction wasn't as wholly overpay as I think some people thought it might be. There's a lot more people thinking that in 2 or 3 years, this could end up being a heck of a bargain the way the wide receiver contracts go. But it was like Christian Watson's on right now the NFL's all when healthy team.
Exactly.
I mean, he is an all when healthy guy, and you got to bet on the come here that he's kind of figured some of those things out and can avoid a catastrophic one like that Bears Week 18.
So people, the thing that hurts Watson is the perception that he's been hurt a lot in his 4 years. Yes, he has. Period. He's been injury prone. And his counting stats, his best season, 647 yards receiving last year. That was only in 11 games.
In 11 games, yeah.
So that puts you in the 1,000-yard territory, which is where you want to be. And they also have an offense where this isn't Devontae Adams 2.0, where they force to one guy. They spread it around. So to get 1,000 yards in that offense, the way it's set up, is noteworthy. 7 touchdowns in 11 games. He had 1 drop last year too.
Yeah, and I don't think they haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since Devontae left in 2020. Yeah.
Here's a little nugget for you. Of 117 wide receivers who ran at least 200 routes last season, Watson was 3rd in explosive plays per route. So he is.
Okay.
The thing about Christian Watson is, all right, you notice it and you see the skill when he plays. You also notice the drop off when he's not in there.
Yeah, clearly.
And that to me is like sways as much as what he does on the field. Like when he's not there, like, it's a slog. Their offense isn't as dynamic. It's not as good. So they definitely need him now.
And their philosophy is totally different. Doesn't it feel like it, Drew?
Totally does.
I mean, when we're watching it high above at Lambeau up in the last row of the press box, man, you can tell the forcing the football over the top. There's just not an explosive element to it. And Jaden Reed was another part of it last year, because even once he came back, you could tell he just wasn't the same, didn't have the same burst, and talk about roles, didn't have nearly the kind of role that any Green Bay Packer fan was planning for, or I think the coaching staff was planning to have Jaden Reed have. So they get both of them. And Drew, I don't necessarily know for certain. I feel pretty confident in it that they got both of these guys on somewhat of a bargain because of the injuries they had in 2025.
That is absolutely true.
Like if Alec Pierce gets,
they would have been.
He would have gotten the full Alec Pierce contract, because what you just said, you prorate those numbers out for Watson, he would have been 1,000-yard guy. Now again, that's an assumption when somebody hasn't been able to prove it and stay healthy. But Jaden Reed is as explosive as anybody in that room. And when his last play for 11 or 12 weeks was one of the craziest touchdown catches that you see, he's a different element. And I think both of them as well, you felt it more, like you said, once they were off the field. I think you could say the same for the next contract that's coming. The next contract for Tucker Kraft, man, that was a totally different Packers offense once he went out with the knee injury. And it took them darn near 3 or 4 weeks to fully figure out how they were playing offense once Kraft was off the field.
Yeah, the guaranteed money is kind of when you get into the weeds of these contracts, that's kind of where it's at.
Yep, that's the important stuff. That's when you really find out what the contract is.
Jaden Reed, he got a deal. His deal is $60 million less total than Watson's, but he's got a $20 million signing bonus, which means like 40% of his contract is fully guaranteed.
And up front.
Yeah.
And up front. Can you imagine what that direct deposit must feel like?
Oh, I can't even.
I mean, I that was the only reaction I had. And sometimes my friend Leroy Butler's words ring true into my head when he reads one of those. God is good. You think about it like, holy cow. When you open that bank account and Christian Watson's going to see that gets dropped in maybe the 1st or 15th or maybe every other Tuesday, however it gets scheduled up there, that's going to be a cool one to be able to see. That's one that you might even screenshot, or maybe your buddy's video, like when Dante DiVincenzo was sitting in Vegas, the rookie summer league after he got picked by the Bucks. I don't know if you remember that, Drew. And they show the picture of his Wells Fargo account. Just broke his head. He goes, well, in about 12 hours, it'll be a lot different story.
Oh my God.
Once that direct deposit hits, that double D is a different deal.
No doubt. Here's a question that popped into my head. Like, okay, so now the Packers, like you mentioned, they have Golden, Reed, and Watson under wraps, and stands to reason Tucker Kraft is on deck, or
at least close to.
His deal is looming. So then they'll have their core pass catchers wrapped up. What deal will we look back at as more pivotal and more shrewd from Brian Gutekunst? This deal for Christian Watson or the deal last year for Christian Watson? You know what I'm saying? It's like that deal that they gave last year that everybody's like, oh, he's coming off injury and you're giving him that deal. And it's like, oh, let's give him, give both sides that cushion so he doesn't have to rush back.
Yep.
And I think that ended up being a smart deal. And if you put them both together, it kind of like, it becomes like a 5-year deal.
Yeah, it becomes a 5-year deal at what, like 120 maybe?
Yeah.
And it's a good point because you looked at last year as like, well, it's almost like the de facto option, but both sides wanted to get to this day. And as you mentioned it of the 1-year deal, I should have had it locked up because I think we mentioned it a couple of times, especially on Packers OT. Like, I imagine that deal gets framework done and they could almost announce it the exact day that he's eligible. And I don't know if this is the exact day that Watson was eligible for the extension, but I think you got to wait 365 days after the announcement of one to be able to hit another one through some of the CBA rules. And it feels like it was right on cue. They knew exactly what they wanted to do and he earned it. But I don't know. Were you surprised, Drew, that there was some, and it felt like mostly from opposing teams' fan bases, but it felt like Packers fans were all in on the deal. Maybe for some of the thought, like there can be a chance when you're seeing guys making $40 million at that spot, $36 million of the Garrett Wilsons of the world. He hasn't produced like that, but in 2 years, you feel like you very much could be getting a heck of a bargain on both Reed and Watson. I mean, there's a value-esque and value portion and quotient to a lot of fans where they want to make sure that we're getting a good value here. I am just sitting in Armin's seat, so maybe I'm thinking of the frugality of it.
That could be.
Like maybe that's just rubbing off on me. I'm trying to get into a little bit of sports Dave Ramsey over here because I'm on this side.
Christian Watson, 26 in terms of guaranteed money amongst wide receivers.
Yeah, that feels like
Making less than
a deal.
Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson and less than Romeo Dobbs.
Making less than the guys walking in as top 10 picks. Holy cow.
I mean,
that's incredible when you, because mostly the only people that you talked about this year was Jeremiah Love. Like he was going to walk in as like the 8th or 9th paid running back in football. Carnell Tate walked in top 25. Ain't bad. That's not going absolutely broke there out of the first round.
So the next targets will be Tucker Kraft and maybe Devontae Wyatt. So
well, and then
they're in the pipeline before the season starts. I would imagine those deals will be announced.
Yeah, you're right. And then yesterday in the show, outside of the show, when we were going back and forth about this, you brought up 2 names that I had not necessarily thought of potentially in that secondary of Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams. Evan Williams for sure is going to be one of these core guys, right?
I think that's an interesting one because I think Xavier McKinney, as much as they love him, and we joke about the dropped interceptions last year, he might be a guy that can't afford both. And Evan Williams is going to be younger, so we're going to take Evan Williams.
Yeah, but that
could be an either or deal.
Could be, and both of them are going to be compensated. Well, the good thing for the Packers, I guess, is the position they play. The value goes down a little bit, but you can't pay everybody. You can't be able to hand out a massive max contracts to everybody. And in all reality, the Packers haven't. They were able to get all these 2 guys in the middle tier of the wide receiver market. And now Kraft probably resets that tight end market. And that's great for him. But I don't know that it's going to be crippling to the cap for where the Packers are at because of where that market is compared to the others. Like where this money continues to come from in the NFL, the cap ain't going down. So you're going to be able to keep buying yourself more and more of your key pieces. This is 3 years ago when Goody was 3 or 4 years ago when Jordan took over. And there was are you hoping to be able to see all these guys, Drew, grow together and be able to figure out who's the guy? Well, when you draft 2 guys in the same draft class, one of them was going to get a second contract and one of them was going to go somewhere else. And that's exactly how it played out.
Exactly what happened. 877-794-1973. React to that. We're going to be reacting to that all day because that was a big story yesterday. No question. Christian Watson with the extension. Packers now wrapping up their primary pass catchers. The big 3 of Watson, Reed, and Golden under wraps for a while.
And that's a pretty solid big three.
And to get rid of, it's like, well, they're not as good because they lost Dobbs and they lost Dontavian Wicks. Well, now they have the three that you're going to build around, and now they don't have to spread it around so much, and they don't have to keep everybody worried, and they won't have guys bitching about their roles behind the scenes, which was maybe more of a drag than we thought last year.
Yeah, maybe it was more of a problem than it was. And I guess you can also point to when LaFleur talked at the owners meeting and at that cool brunch that they do, Drew. He wasn't doing that again.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that again. I'm letting everybody know where they stand, and everybody's going to know what they can be expected of, because I don't know that it really fully chapped him up, that player report card grade that he got with the drop, but they are operating as if they want to let players in a little bit more. And so maybe they won't tell you exactly what they're going to do, but look at the actions, and they definitely have listened to whatever that report card said.
Absolutely. We are off and running. It's the Armin-less edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, South Beach, Siren. But we got the usual stuff for you on Friday. We'll come up with some stuff to talk about. Don't you worry. Scott Dolphin joins us at halftime today.
We got a Hunter report in here ready to rock.
We definitely got a Hunter report from the game. Hunter was obviously our intrepid reporter on the scene of the Brewers' interesting game yesterday. Long game, not a good outcome, but it was quite interesting, and especially the finish. Oh my goodness. I just think about what if the Brewers had tied that game in 4 extra innings, being down 12-3. Then you think, oh, this is a magical season. Let's start blocking out late October, right? If you win a game when you're down 12-3. But didn't come to be, and Brewers heading to Colorado this weekend, and then Vegas, which is going to be a road trip that everybody makes.
A road trip, man.
Everybody's going to make that road trip in a couple of years, but they're the first team that's going to be playing Vegas. We will talk about all that and get your reaction. Obviously, big news with the Packers. Nice to talk about something other than Josh Jacobs' situation.
Yeah, positive stuff up there. That's good.
Some interesting.
And not the underwear Olympics of OTAs.
Yes, interesting developments there. We're glad you're hanging out with us. This is the 5 o'clock club. Those of you who are up with us early, you insomniacs, early risers, sociopaths waiting for your favorite Stairmaster or treadmill at the health club. We're glad you're hanging out with us on the Friday edition of The Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Cruising through a Friday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew Wilson, Bill Schmid, Armin South Beach Sarian, not with us today, headed for a bachelor party. He's going to be wheels up in just a little bit. Might be listening to us right now.
I can almost guarantee you that he's listening right now.
Yeah.
Out of the individuals that take vacation, I don't know if there's people that are listening to us, Drew, that there's that guy in your office that takes off and all he does is email everybody throughout the time.
Yeah.
Or like randomly check in. Oh, is everything going well?
Guys,
it's going well. Get out of here. Right?
That you feel bad about. Yeah. You're that tied to the job that you got to just,
Armin is so tied to loving Wisconsin sports that he just had too many Christian Watson takes to get off. Right. Like I probably should be able to, but right now I have not been able to figure out how I can access the talk and text line back here on my Starship that I'm guiding. But I would assume he's just hammered all over it.
I'm sure.
I mean, he's going to hammer that more than he's going to hammer Beers and Jose Cuervo probably this weekend down in Miami.
I think you're probably right. Well, especially since, Armin's not in possession of his X account.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. He's going to send all his tweets to our account.
Yeah. He can't be trolling, but yeah, you can reach us. NicolaLaw.com, talk and text line 877-794-1973. Gets you in. Wondering, how you feel about the Christian Watson extension, yesterday's Brewers proceedings. I said it is hard to sweep a 4-game series, and it is. Even winning a 4-game series is weird. I think it's like 41% of 4-game series are split.
Just rip it off the calendar and go.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a team four times in a row. It's hard to beat a team 3 out of 4, as we've seen. But 3 out of 4 happens, I think, also about 40%.
Ultimately, not a terrible result, right? Like, I mean, Drew, when you look at just how battered they are, and the Hall injury might be the most significant out of the proceedings yesterday. Not to try to take anything away from Grant Anderson, he's been really good and has helped them out a ton. But Hall he's kept them in a lot of games similar to yesterday, right? Where you might get an early blow up. Think of the Sox game, maybe 3rd game of the year, that Sunday matinee where Brandon Sproat can't find the strike zone for the first 2 innings, and your offense battles back and you ended up stealing it. You almost did yesterday if the bullpen's able to have a magnificent moment and be able to keep you right there. They tried to do that on Wednesday and keep you right there while you were getting no hit for 7 innings. David Hamilton, I thought he was an eyelash away from having a magnificent signature moment and tying that thing up at 12. But it does feel like right now, for the time being until the Pratt move is made there in Nashville, seems like right now he's your starting shortstop, and they'll bring in Joey O for 1 at bat when it's against a position player, Drew, or a defensive replacement. But it seems like he's kind of been relegated to that spot, and Hamilton's just taking that one off, and Renjifo's kind of running with his spot over at first base. He continued the onslaught last night, at least in the 9th inning, to give you a chance. Well,
the NicolaLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. Hunter was getting some juice during his baseball, Milwaukee's baseball tonight. And a question came up during that program yesterday from the 715. Would you guys rather have kept Haas or glad you got Gary Sanchez? I personally was PO'd when they didn't sign Haas back. Younger, faster, seems like he's just a better clubhouse player. Plus, Sanchez doesn't handle the pitching staff as well.
I don't know that last part at all, but
well, yeah, like what do you mean handle the pitching staff as well and better clubhouse player based on what?
Based on he hit a grand slam yesterday.
El Gary's a very popular dude.
I was gonna say, from at least everything that we see, you're in there a lot more than I. It seems like he's one of the more popular cats.
Yeah. Then he said, as far as Renjifo, he played good defense the past 2 days, but between the money contract, poor hitting, and for every more 50 at bats intervals costs them another $100K until he gets to 400. Then it's $250K each 50. Joey could go back to 3rd.
Dude, I love the breakdown of the incentives.
Yeah.
He's rolling through all the numbers that Rowdy Tellez got salty about in Pittsburgh when he didn't get whatever his 400 at bats or whatever. Now I can't dig into it that much. What is the money spent? Like $3 million for Renjifo?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's fine.
Okay. It's
because I do. And if you're starting to try to figure out who you would bet on, Drew, out of the group of the 500 plus OPS players or that group of the 500 or 600 cats, I think Renjifo, from what at least he's done in the majors, would give you the most confidence that he would be able elevate that into the 700s and be more of an average guy, right? Like and give you a good 3 to 4 week run in him. Everyone's banking on Sal Frelick. Feels like he's getting at least somewhat warm, but he's toiling still in that 580, 590 range. I feel like Rengifo, a guy that hit close to 20 bombs at least one point in the league, would give you some belief, or you'd have at least some hope that he'd be able to grab it more than a Hamilton or Ortiz, who you're just kind of wish casting on.
The addendum from our 715 texter. I personally would trade Rengifo to Boston for Durbin straight up. And even if they have to pay some of the contract, they ate Reese's $18 million towards the back end of last season by basically benching him. Yeah, I mean,
no, that's a fact on the Hoskins part. There had to have been more to it than that.
Yeah,
like that one when he was off the playoff roster, felt like there was something to it. There was also this, I don't know, guy named Andrew Vaughn that was kind of too good to take out of the lineup at that point. I don't know that anybody else I want to take it at bats back there.
A little bit of a mitigating factor there was the performance of Andrew Vaughn.
But so. The trade with the Red Sox, that would be fun. You'd probably be able to do it on MLB The Show because you could hit that force trade.
Yeah.
If they gave up Kyle Harrison and maybe they just don't know anything about pitching, Drew. But if they gave up that dude's talent for Caleb Durbin, I don't think they're giving up. They're trading him back for Luis Rengifo. Maybe they'd be interested in shipping off a Brian Bello, who they just sent down to AAA, right? Like they've had a guy in Bello who's started a bunch of games for them, and they just optioned him down. Maybe you take a flyer over there, but I think Craig Breslow might have last time just hit report spam on the call when Matt Arnold called him, because I ain't answering that phone call again after what Kyle Harrison's putting together on that deal.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong about that.
Do you think they'd go outside the organization at all for the upgrades on the left side?
Well, it's complicated with Pratt coming.
Super complicated, and Williams, who feels like they're kind of knocking on the door.
Yeah, I think they would probably try internally first, but especially if one of those guys, if Jet Williams is going to be a trade piece, maybe let him get a little taste of big league action here and showcase him a little bit.
That's what I was wondering. Do you bring him up because you're obviously not going to start the service time clock, but if you think that he could be an attractive piece at the deadline, go up and get him some run. The tough thing is, like, you could absolutely line change it over on the left side of the infield for two guys that are going to be seeing big league pitching for the first time. I don't know that satisfies your offensive need. It might not be nearly as bad on defense, but to bank on it being better offensively, that's tough. They need to make a couple of moves, especially now their need for bullpen arms. And I think it's arms for sure. It's probably a plural now. It is still bigger than what they have over on the offensive side over there on the left side. And I think they'll go outside the organization for the pitching. I don't know that they're going to do it for the guys on the left side of the infield. We'll see. But there's not a ton of, at least right now, attractive pieces. Or maybe we just haven't gotten to that point where we know all the targets, Drew, because everybody's only talking about Skubal right now.
That's true.
He's the only trade deadline conversation.
Well, there will be more because now the Yankees need a bat because Aaron Judge is going to be out until August.
Stress
fracture, rib.
I hear stress fracture. I think like rest of the season. I hear stress fracture in the rib. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
When are you coming back? Apparently that'd be a superhuman
re-imaging in 4 to 6 weeks. But I would say the optimistic case would be sometime in August he comes back.
So the
best case scenario.
The AL MVP race just opened up.
Just opened up a little bit.
Now somebody can go and take that mantle.
Now the Yankees might be looking for a little part-time bat.
Because that's
fill-in.
That's probably what they need is one more offensive weapon to go. They could throw that Spencer Jones kid who looks like the Kirkland brand Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Like if Aaron Judge was standing outside of Abercrombie and Fitch, this guy was outside of Hollister. Like he was the 6'7" guy that they would just hire. Strapping young lad hanging out. They got a lot of offensive. Bellinger's been very good for them too.
That's true. All right. So Brewers losing again, series tonight with the Colorado Rockies. How's Miz's fastball going to play at altitude? I imagine fine.
Does it?
It's the curveball guys you worry about.
I was going to say, hard to be worse than Coleman Crow was yesterday. But Coleman Crow and Coors Field, Drew, probably would be even tougher. That big curveball that he's trying to spin past people, that one feels like it would have flattened out and found a couple of bleacher seats.
Right. And Coors Field is still like an anomaly, and you're going into a series there. You never know what's going to happen, even though the Rockies are bad.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the three guys lined up to start for the Brewers. All of them have one thing in common. They've never pitched at Coors Field before.
I feel better about that.
So it's, we'll see. We'll see how they adjust.
Was Colorado Springs as difficult as
it
Coors
was similar.
Field?
It was definitely, it altered your, perceptions for sure.
It was funny.
I've talked to our buddy Tim Dillard about that a lot, about how that prepared you for pitching there.
Well, and I mean, think of the guys that kind of went through there. The Freddie Peralta, Woodruff,
Burns.
All those cats. Hader had probably a couple of stops there as well on his development. I mean, that's a heck of a place to earn your mental stripes. Hey, here we go. We're going to set this thing up on a tee and get into a launching pad, but try to get to the big leagues, boys. You got a good chance. You're still going to work because we got the pitching lab and the Brewers development, but you're going to have to grit your teeth a little bit here.
Right. So DL Hall with a pec injury. He's going to get looked at today.
He's shaking his head. That didn't look good.
Grant Anderson gets smoked with a line drive on the arm. X-rays negative. He'll be playing catch today. He might avoid an IL stint, depending on how that. But you can see the seams in his arm in the photo that the boys took in the locker room.
Can I be honest with you, Drew? I might have been out a month.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Like I think.
Oh God, yeah.
That screamer back at you while it's barreling in on your chest. I think I might take a couple of weeks.
Right.
Coach, could I have 15 just to get my wits about me and my courage back up to get up there?
Knowing what we know now, 24 hours hindsight. Yesterday would have been a good day to have Abner Uribe serve his suspension.
Yeah, I could have taken it that day.
Because we're gonna get adjudication on that soon, and whether his appeal is withheld or whether he's got to serve the suspension, and
feels like a long appeal process for that, doesn't it?
Kind of does, yeah.
It's kind of like he did it a while ago. I think we know how we feel about it. Right. Yes or no? Come on.
When we come back, we will hear Hunter Baumgart's recap of the proceedings yesterday afternoon at American Family Field. Brewers splitting the quick 4-game homestand with the Giants on the road tonight, Colorado, and then Vegas to play the Athletics, who soon enough will make their home in Vegas. We are off and running. It is the Friday edition. It's a casual Friday, as most are around here. Armin is out. Billy's behind the board. We're hanging out with you in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on a Friday. Drew Wilson, Bill Schmid, skating shorthanded. Armin South Beach Sarian is at a bachelor party in Miami. Maybe it'll be bottle service that we're talking about when he comes back.
Yeah, Aquafina bottle service.
It'll be a highlight or something that they did. Something on the, I don't even know what's on the itinerary at a bachelor party in South Beach. I have no idea. Bachelor party in the Dells, I wouldn't know what's on the itinerary.
So, well, I got a couple ideas for the Dells. Now,
it cost me $30 a song too.
That'll be $300 a song down there. He did run through a little bit of the itinerary with me yesterday. He's missing the jet ski day today.
Oh,
he's missing jet ski time, which has got to be difficult. We have gotten our first correspondence though, from Armin, because as you mentioned, Drew, he can't go on X.
Yeah,
he can Snapchat, baby.
All right,
Snapchat and sunrises. Snapchat and sunrises from, I'm guessing, Terminal C, over at beautiful General Mitchell Airport. So
love it.
Armin's going to be right on into his dad mode. I'm actually more just surprised that there wasn't a bird in there as well. But we got time. We got a lot of time for a lot of Snapchats and a lot of Hunter Baumgart updates here coming up.
Yep. Keep them coming. 877-794-1973. Get you in. We need audience participation without Armin today. But we have participation from Hunter Baumgart. Our Brewers go-to guy files reports for us basically every day. And they're brought to us by Import Minded. Hunter, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Some days after the ball game, you look around at the ballpark and you say, what did I just witness on that baseball field? And yesterday was one of those days, a 12-9 loss for the Brewers to the San Francisco Giants. The Giants had 20 hits in the game. First time the Brewers have given up 20 hits since 2017. Also, first time the Brewers have given up 12 runs since the opening series of last year against the Yankees in the Torpedo Bats. So it had been a while since the Brewers had given up either number, but unfortunately both of them came yesterday. Brewers were down 6-1. Coleman Crowe gave up 6 runs in 2 1/3. And then they were down 6-3, and then they were down 12-3 after a 6-run 7th for the Giants. And then all of a sudden they're down 12-6. They load the bases with nobody out in the bottom of the 9th, and then David Hamilton strolling to the plate as the tying run and a fly ball to center is caught at the warning track, and that's how it ends. The Brewers split the series with the Giants, but DL Hall and Grant Anderson both leaving with injuries. Here's what Brewers manager Pat Murphy had to say after the game.
Yeah, we don't know yet either one. We're investigating. Hall's going for an MRI. Yeah, we don't know anything about what body part. Oh yeah, it was subscap and pec. Subscap and pec were both hurting. We don't know how serious. But anytime you have the subscap or you have the pec hurting, you're going to be cautious and make sure. Anderson's took a line drive off his forearm. Right now we're seeing his contusion. We got to follow up, make sure that once the swelling's down, the second, or X-ray it more than once. So that's all we know on that.
So we'll see if there are any roster moves today as the Brewers head to Colorado. 7:40 first pitch tonight. On the mound for the Crew is Brandon Sproat. Ryan Feltner gets to start for the Rockies. I'll have you for the baseball pregame show coming up tonight, 6:30 to 7:30 on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee, and of course our social channels as well. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter Baumgart, for that report brought to us by Import Minded. Appreciate that. Hunter is our boots on the ground, and you can listen to his pregame show, which is always informative. And Milwaukee's baseball tonight on Thursday is always a good. Yesterday was a postgame show on one of the more bizarre games. Plenty to unpack, as Hunter pointed to. One of my favorite things from yesterday in the postgame, like I always consider the baseball game when you're covering it as a 3-act play. You've got the relaxed pregame, batting practice, you go around, gather information, relaxed conversation. Then you have the game, then you have the postgame. In the postgame yesterday, one of the things I found most interesting was Murph talking about Jackson Chourio and the home run on the first at bat of the game when Casey Schmidt hit the first pitch of the game for a homer. And Chourio went back against the fence and he jumped and he was blocked. He was Matumbo'd by the fence.
Yeah, he got rejected by the yellow line. I was wondering if I saw that correctly. Okay.
Yeah. The ball bounced on top of the wall and went over. And it's not like that's an error or anything.
Sure.
You've come to expect guys to give that play.
That'd be a heck of an appeal.
Not the first, but Pat Murphy asked about it. He said, quote, home run robberies are becoming so prevalent. There are 5 times as many as ever before. So you've got to practice it. You've got to become good at it. He's not at this point, referring to Churio. But that's a skill that takes time, and he's been injured this year and all that other stuff.
So that might be my favorite development to come out of a professional sport in a long time, Drew. So you have to practice it like we used to out in the backyard,
all the time,
up by your neighbor's fence.
This week in baseball had this majestic shot of Dave Winfield in left field at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, going into like the 3rd row.
Oh man,
leaping up and just like he was a tall guy anyway, but it was a majestic highlight.
Yeah.
And everybody used to practice doing those and snow coning them and trying to make the home run robberies. It's an exciting defensive play. Corey Hart was never any good at that either.
For issues. As tall as he was, that's a good point. He
had issues going back on balls, and some guys just do. Blake Perkins is pretty good at it.
They're pretty dang good at it. And he makes it look so effortless. I think the Perkins one's hilarious. James Wood had like the most casual home run robbery I've ever seen last week. And in reality, it definitely was like just as close to the wall as Churio's. But Drew, he just like, let me see real quick here. All right. Like he was getting something off of the refrigerator. Hold on, let me just snag that here real quick. And Cheerios did look like a little bit of a baby deer going back there. Yeah. So how do you practice that? Do you just go full on onto the wall, or do they do like we did and just jump into the couch and see if you can put the glove just over there enough?
That's a good one. You got to find a way. Got to find a way to practice and get
good
better. Good
trampoline and a landing spot for you.
Classic. All right, we'll talk more Brewers. We'll talk more Christian Watson, whatever comes up today. It's a Friday.
We got some audience participation already in the comments section, Drew, too, of the YouTube. So we'll hit some of those as
Outstanding.
well.
We're gonna share all the comments that you send our way because we're skating shorthanded. South Beach Sarians in Miami. We're here, and you are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to board down to. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Friday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Thanks to Hunter Baumgart for that intro. Drew Olson, Bill Schmid. Armin Sarian is at a bachelor party. South Beach Sarian.
Is it too
Loving
early
life.
to get a drink on the flight out there?
I don't think so. Is he going to be like, do they have any, he shared some of the itinerary. Is there any just like flop on the beach time, like hungover?
Oh my
like just
God.
crash on the beach?
I'm so glad you asked. Yes. So not, there was a beach pool relaxing time. I believe that was from 4 to 5:30 tonight. It might be a little different, but tomorrow there was an optional event. You can opt in or opt out. I don't know if you had to sign a permission slip. But one to like and I'm going to potentially mess it up here, but I'm pretty sure it was like the Miami Botanical Gardens and a museum.
Okay.
And Armin's like, that sounds awesome. That sounds really fun. It's at like 9:30 in the morning. I'm like, brother, I got bad news for you. You're the only person that's going on there.
That's so true.
There is no chance that anybody else is getting up on this bachelor party. Now, maybe there are a bunch of people that are really into, into ergonomics and definitely going to want to get all those beautiful sights and sounds and visuals. But I'm pretty positive that's going to be a U event. He's like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just go and I'll just tell everybody what they missed. Make sure you do. And make
Please
sure,
do.
Drew, I told him as well, like in the Uber back, I mean, you can do it on your phone. You could probably put a quick little PowerPoint together on Google Slides. Just go through the rundown and let everybody know about what they missed. I think they'd really appreciate that as they're drinking their
You're
Pedialyte.
sabotaging Armin. Come on.
I just thought it would be a good idea. You got to fill everybody in. Hey, guys, this is what you missed. There were flowers. They were red and blue and white.
pretty
It was
funny.
awesome. We got a lot of listener participation on the YouTube comments, though. Because our boy Tim said, good to see you boys this morning. And so we're going to the games this weekend in Denver. Always a great time representing and supporting the crew at Coors Field. He said it's the same elevation in Colorado Springs as it is in Denver. Drew, there were a ton of Giants fans at American Family Field this weekend. And I guess I don't think the Giants are a big bandwagon team, just a bunch of like families. And it felt like a lot of visitors going and taking in the ballpark here this weekend. They got a big fan base. They got a loyal one, that's for sure. But there were a ton of Giants fans this weekend. And I would assume there always are, but I would assume there's going to be a ton of Brewers fans there at Coors Field.
I would think.
Is Coors Field like the baseball version of Allegiant Stadium, where it's probably 60-40 visitor fans every single game?
That's a city with a lot of transplants.
A ton, yes. Everybody's moving to Denver and Nashville for a while.
Yeah, and so there's that element of it, and it's they are a big regional team too. I mean, but they draw from like Wyoming and.
That makes sense. Sure.
They're kind of like the Cardinals in that way. Of like the Rockies fans are spread out over those less populated states.
It also has just a cool allure to it. I've never been there. I've had about 2 different botch trips to Coors Field, and I've walked around and drank outside of the ballpark quite a few times. Being out in Denver seems like a great place for the ball game.
That Lodo neighborhood is kind of cool.
Oh, that is a
funky.
good spot. Yeah, that is a good time down there.
Yeah, but it's it's interesting though, because that's a destination for sure. And the Packers played there this year. That was the game when everything went off the rails. So we don't spend a lot of time talking about what a great party it was with people who went. But that is a destination for Wisconsin, for anybody, for Wisconsin. It's lovely there year round. If you're into skiing and stuff, you can obviously go there in the winter. But if you're into, I went to Vail one time in the summer and had a really good, cool time hiking and riding bikes and stuff. So
I love that. I love that place. And not only for the reasons that came in near the 2014 time. Yeah. That was when I made my first trip out there and took the tour of the football stadium at elevation there and in Power Field. They let you know everywhere, Drew. Like, I think that's one place that's very proud of where they're at. They let you know every single spot in that stadium. This is over 5,000 feet above sea level. Just so you know, you're up in the clouds a little bit, fellas.
Purple seat. Yeah.
You're up in the clouds a little bit. But it is one of the stranger downtown sports maps because nothing's really close to each other, but nothing's really that far out of downtown.
Yeah.
Right. Like the arena is on one corner. The baseball stadium's got its own little district. The football stadium you can kind of see from everywhere, but it's a little bit of a train ride out. It's a cool spot. They got really, really good light rail system down there as well.
Very cool.
Their version of what the hop is on that 16th Avenue, that's a cool hop. That's one that people drive. That's one that people actually take because it takes you all through all the different areas where you can go. It's a good time. Great weekend for folks down there.
Yep. Now, as much as we extol the virtues of Denver, the Brewers are going to Vegas after this.
Yeah, that's also a good time.
From the Nicolay Talking Text line, 877-794-1973. From the 608, why didn't the Brewers games in Vegas, why didn't they get ballyhooed as an epic party?
Well, the number one reason is because of how far it is. Like, it would be an epic party for the Vegas games and will be when they play those games on the Strip.
Yeah, this is a little different.
This is going to be a little different. I do know a decent amount of people that are going out there. Our buddy, the franchise, is going out there, and he's just going to hang out. But now he knows Vegas better than anybody. I think it's like an 89th time or something going out there. But it's a legit 25 minutes from the Strip. Going to be beautiful views. You can go over to Red Rock Casino, which is a phenomenal spot across the street from the ballpark.
Yep.
But this is a full minor league stadium getting Major League Baseball games. And it doesn't seem like that many people, I don't know, Drew, are fully understand just how far away it is. Like it's
a hike.
It is a hike. It's like if you're going and staying downtown Milwaukee and they're playing these games at the corners of Brookfield.
Yeah, that's pretty good analogy.
Like a decent one. Like
even a little further.
I mean, maybe even a little further. Maybe they're going and playing on Okachi Lake. Like this is close to being in downtown Milwaukee and going and seeing our buddy Paul Wagner at the Dock Hounds, which again, you probably should tonight. Tonight's Glazer night.
Oh, that's it.
Tonight's Glazer night.
Huge.
If you're not going to the Dock Hounds game, I don't know what you're doing out there.
One of the all-timers.
That is one of the greatest promotions I have ever heard of, and definitely one that I should be taking advantage of. Our friend Mike Witt said, howdy, boys. 2 things. First, 9 runs and you lose? Yikes. Yeah, when you got 2 guys bring gas cans to the mound, that'll generally happen. The Woodford Reserve just lit the bourbon on fire yesterday while he went out there and took the bump. But he also got called in fireman duty after one guy got laced across the forearm. Secondly, as Mike Wick said here on the YouTube comments, Drew, Christian Watson extends. Awesome. Get Tucker Kraft done next, and we're good. The Kraft contract has to be next, you would assume, but there's definitely going to be 1 to 2 more. They got a lot of salary cap room, and Parsons was discussing it the other day. I know he didn't spin through all of what Micah had talked about, but he talked about like windows, and these things are finite. You got to be able to strike while the iron's hot, and we know that this is more about the playoffs. When you got a certain amount of guys making a bunch of money, the window gets a little tighter. The Watson and Reed contracts, and the one yesterday, 4 years, $110.75 million, whatever it is, $31 million signing bonus guaranteed up front. That's going to at least I feel like, Drew, open you up to keeping more players that you believe are still core foundational pieces like an Evan Williams or a Devontae Wyatt. Then if you had to go the full Cincinnati method where they're paying two guys, especially on the outside, top of the market with Higgins and Chase, and then you don't have a whole lot of wiggle room to do anything else. Like you pay five guys and that's going to be it. You're going to have a ton of draft picks that are going to have to hit with you. They're now going into a spot where they still have a little bit of maneuverability if they'd go and grab somebody, but they wanted to lock a lot of these guys up, and they're using a decent amount of cap space here now.
That's what they have it for.
They saved it, and everyone's like, are they going to go get? Are we going to unload this $18 million, Drew, on Josh Sweat?
Yeah.
No, on Christian Watson and Tucker Kraft and buying a couple of lakefront properties with the direct deposits that are hitting those accounts. You go.
Yeah, that's my goodness. We live in interesting times, and the Packers are going about their business. And again, we shouldn't be surprised because this probably should have been expected, these moves.
Yeah,
the Reed, but they still seem surprising.
Does the timing surprise you? Maybe more of it. Like the Reed one definitely surprised me on draft night or day 2 of the draft. One, because I thought the NFL just tried to embargo it and say, hey guys, do all your clerical work either before the draft or after the draft. Don't take away from our Pittsburgh event. But tonight, the Watson one, you could clearly say they had it penciled as soon as we could sign him again, we're going to do it. And they took that 5th-year option essentially last year and then re-upped him for big cash, but a little bit less than Alec Pierce got, who seems like the number one comp people were trying to make yesterday. For somebody that at least has played the full season throughout.
That was the name you heard more than any other.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
They play a similar game, right? They're both kind of explosive guys. The tough part about Pierce is, I mean, his contract came, and then they immediately had to trade Michael Pittman. Right? Like they had to trade him off the books to be able to pay Pierce. Now, you could say the Packers did that since they let Dobbs walk and then signed Reed and Watson. But I don't know a whole lot of Packers fans that were against those moves. I don't know that I don't know that there were many people that I was finding out or talking to that would have done it differently.
Is this this is Goody Russ Ball. How much is Ed Policy involved in this? Just saying, you guys, good job, guys. You know, what's going on over here? You guys, you spending that money? Okay,
good. Make sure you spend some of that.
We don't know like the machinations of this, but we don't know who's next, but we assume it's Kraft and Wyatt and that the deals will get done in camp or before the first game.
Do you think Kraft, anybody wants to wait just to see him get back on the field?
I mean, fans, yes, but I don't know about the organization. What do you think? I mean,
I don't know about the organization. I wonder if like his agency is like, hey, let's just get you on the field, ball out a little bit, then we'll hit him again. But I mean, when you're coming off an ACL injury, hard to say you're going to keep banking and betting on yourself when there's guaranteed money thrown at you. That's the thing with Watson. Like both sides could have played hardball with this. I don't know that it would have been advantageous for either side. I don't necessarily know I would have done it. Somebody's floating a $31 million signing bonus in front of my face, Drew. It's going to be hard for me to say no.
Hard to say no.
Hard to say no to that. But that's what agents are there for. Cooper Pratt talked about it when Scott Boras was on his line of the 8-year, $50 million. You got to look at all the other options. There's a spot when later into the year, 11, 12 games in, Christian Watson's one of the top, say, 15 receivers in football, yardage-wise, maybe top 10. Big red zone production, big touchdowns. But they're looking at this thing saying, man, if we would have just waited, we would have made them tag us, or we would have been able to really break the bank at the end of the year. Or, the injury questions become even more concerns over the next couple of years and it becomes a problem. Either way, you're not going to bankrupt your salary cap with whatever these financials look like. Is that fair to say? Like, either way, if this goes as bad as possible and he is not able to put the injuries behind him, I don't think this is going to cripple you or hamstring you going forward to being able to do a couple more moves.
I don't think so.
That's the genius part of it for Russ Ball, to be able to strike while the iron was hot for him.
That's the calculus that goes in. All right. Once again, 877-794-1973. Some positive news from the Packers. Again, I don't know what the timing will be. Maybe you're right. Tucker Kraft, maybe it'll be announced later, but Wyatt's got to be during camp, I would imagine, because you look at that position and those are the next two guys. And then I start looking around at the other spots on the roster. And that's when I came up with the Evan Williams, Xavier McKinney kind of deal.
Yeah. Which I think that's
like, where does this leave those guys? And is Xavier McKinney on his way out, because Packers like to the draft and develop and reward the guys who've been here, right?
Yeah, and McKinney you don't necessarily think about, but I mean they don't give out a hell of a lot of third contracts, right? I mean we were expecting that with the Josh Jacobs conversation. That's why many people were wondering what his number would be. McKinney playing on a restructuring of the 4-year $67 million. They just did it earlier this year. They've fully guaranteed a bunch more on the signing bonus to lower his cap number. But next year, the dead cap money or the cap hit will be $24 million. So they're either going to avoid it and move more things around, or you would think, Drew, extend him after this year and try to push even more money of that around already $2.5 million into 28, 29, and 30. So they're moving some of this stuff around. They're manipulating the cap as if they are fully believing they're a Super Bowl caliber roster. Like you start doing these gymnastics when you believe you're in to compete, and they believe they're right there at that spot. He converted $3 million of his base salary to an $8.7 million roster bonus to a signing bonus. What that means is he got all that money in front.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of my favorite parts of watching the Packers operate in this mode, Drew. They talk about that war chest. Talk about that reserve up there in Green Bay. That whatever reserve account that continues to get some oodles of cash in there. And Ed Policy was talking about it, that it's going to be difficult for us at certain points in time to be able to keep up with the Joneses, where people are just throwing all this private equity money into NFL. Packers got a nice little sum that they're sitting on right now. Because whenever they need to, they much prefer to give you the cash up front. We'll give you the money. And then let's play ball, because we got the money to give you right now. And who doesn't your signing bonus?
So you have to look at like the dead cap money and like if they were going to cut McKinney after this year,
just under $15 million.
See, that seems to me like that is the way they'll go.
With a restructure or with a cut?
One way or the other.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to know the language on it.
He's 27, right? Because it seems like he's a veteran player, which he is, because he's been playing 6 years. But I don't know. The extension, you're kind of buying the declining years, aren't you?
You generally would think
they
so.
got the best. Like they squeeze that bar rag and get the juice out, and then they say thank you.
Yeah, and whoever you think is behind him as well, right? Like if you believe you got somebody that is waiting in the wings. Evan Williams plays a little bit different spot, but I don't think they also want to learn that lesson twice, right? With a number 33 who has good ball skills and instincts like Micah Hyde felt like he did, and Evan Williams feels like he does. You just don't want to lose that one as well. I'm fascinated to see how the cornerback position and how they're not spending money there, Drew, maybe allows them to keep both of those guys. Right, because that's a high-paying position. Yeah. On the outside, that's a high-paying position, and maybe the fact that you're rolling into the rookie contract with Cisse, hopefully he's one of your guys. Nixon, whatever people believe or think of him and Valentine, they're not making a ton of money, so they're not killing you that route. That could be a spot. Mike Witt also asking us for any updates when Brandon Woodruff is coming back or is due back this season. We talked about that with Hunter yesterday, Drew. Hunter made it sound like sometime during June could be the Woodruff return. They desperately need him, right? Like as much as you want to be patient with all of your guys, especially that arm, they're going to be needing somebody. When you started talking about that subscap for DL Hall that Murph was talking about in Hunter's update, that gets me a little bit nervous as to where they're going on the staff.
Yeah, that's cause for concern.
That's a dicey tag to be putting on somebody's injury.
No question. All right, 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Yes, we're skating shorthanded today. Billy is handling it now. He's like a duck in water. He's figured out the board. He's good to go.
I'm figuring it out. We got
Getting fancy now.
Luckily, our guys Tim and Mike are helping us out. Our boy Tim, I moved to Wyoming in 2012. Definitely draw fans from all over to the Rockies in that region. But in Wyoming, they feel similarly about Coloradoans as we do in Wisconsin about folks from Illinois.
I love that.
So there's some good conflict there, Drew. I like that.
I love it.
I like that Tim's giving us some information. He's also letting everybody know there is a Wisconsin bar basically across the street from Coors Field. That is going to be a little bit of a rallying spot and a little bit of a spot to gather here today before Brewers and Rockies comes.
This is our gathering spot. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. When we come back, our buddy Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall is going to pop on in for halftime. It's the Arminless version of the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew and Billy bring it to you on the Huddle. Armin is in South Beach, and wearing a romper and going to a bachelor party for the weekend. Billy's behind the board, and we welcome our pal Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall. FM 1061 is here.
Howdy, boys.
Dolph, I got to say, I did not attend the Parker McCollum concert yesterday, but I live close enough that I could hear just about every note. Yeah, that's the stage that I get free shows on my deck.
So I
could hear it. So for those of us who try to go to bed earlier,
good luck.
Parker was keeping me awake. I wish the Brewers had been playing because it would give me something else to watch during that time.
The BMO Pavilion faces directly at your place, huh?
Pretty much.
That place, what a great idea when they built that thing. Because remember, before that, it was just that old, it was the M&I Bank rock stage, and it butted up against the amphitheater. And
it wasn't
all you wanted to do was go to Bar Louie to be able to get something to drink. And like be bumping into people that are listening over there.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not ideal.
No, the BMO Pavilion is awesome, and then of course now you can use it for 6 months out of the year.
That's right, and it's a good looking stage. Like when they have like the kind of you can see like the lake behind it and stuff.
It's awesome. It almost looks like it's green screened behind. Yeah. You'll see sailboats going behind the.
And the way it's
artist.
set down, and it's like, that is the stage that I can hear. So I heard basically every note of Parker McCollum.
You got to use those sweet new reusable earphones or earplugs that the Summerfest folks gave
Hadn't
us.
Thought of that, Billy.
That would have worked.
Where were you last night? You know,
Summerfest dropped off Summerfest earplugs.
Yeah,
and they got the little smiley face on them.
That's their new vendor this year. Those the two local girls that started this.
Oh, that's really cool.
Try to make those. Yeah, they were giving them out at that Summerfest preview party we were at.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I was at the party, but I didn't get the earplugs.
But you found where the beer was first.
or
Potentially
the
hors d'oeuvres.
I did
the mozzarella marinara shots. They had shot
cool.
glasses with mini mozz dipped in marinara. And so they were handing them out.
That was cool too. Yeah, little shot glasses. I did. I walked in the door, turned dead right, and right there was the bar. Nobody was in line, so I had to get an ice cold Miller Lite.
Well, if anything, at that point, it's rude to not say hi to the bartenders.
Of course.
First. Yeah, you got to make your round, say hello to everybody, and that's one of the first stops because they're going to be taking care of everybody.
I did them a favor. I started the tip jar. I was like the first one.
Right. Make sure. Hey, this is it. Right. Everybody's knowing.
Yeah.
Drop it in first.
Right.
I'm first one in.
Yeah. So to give the plug right, the Charmed earplugs.
Okay.
Kate and Courtney, two friends,
there we
couldn't find earplugs that they loved because they didn't fit right so they made their own reusable earplugs. And then they have the little Summerfest charm on them for the Summerfest thing. So they're selling these signature things. And I don't know, Dolph, you go to a lot of shows. I've been to a lot of shows in my life. I've just kind of recently discovered the joy of wearing earplugs.
Yeah. Well,
you can still get the nuance without the sheer volume.
I never remember them. And now twice in the last year, I actually had to go buy earplugs at a venue because my ears were physically hurting. The last time was at the Miller High Life Theater. My wife and I had great seats, 4th row for Alabama Shakes. Great show, but I was in physical pain. The music was so loud. I went out and they have vending machines now where you just, you put your credit card in and out pops $11 earplugs.
Ugh. That cost 3 cents to make.
Yeah, sounds like Daytona. That was the spot where all of a sudden you're like, I'm gonna experience this. Yeah, I experienced it for a couple of laps, and then I throw those sons of guns right back on in there because if you're feeling that 200 horsepower driving by you every single moment,
now,
those engines are gonna run through.
NASCAR and Indy, do people still wear the big over the ear?
I think so.
Yeah,
headphones.
Yeah, they got the full over the years. There's some of them like patch in the
you can get the spotters
and you can hear the spotters talking to the race teams. Those are intense. I don't know that I could possibly focus enough. You would get a different appreciation for where they're at. But then there are some that just take their toddlers' big old over the head earphones and just put those things on, or look like they're cutting the grass.
Yeah, you see that around neighborhoods, 100%. Don't you?
You see the one guy cutting the grass with shirtless with the big earphones on.
Sure. My mower isn't that loud. I never had a lawnmower that's loud where it hurts
I had the
my
big
ears.
ones, but they had a radio built in, so I was actually listening to the radio.
Yes.
Was that the Walkman, Drew? Is that what
it was just the big over the ear, had the cans and little radio thing on the side.
And
I could listen to those.
You thought you were on the cutting edge of technology with those things on, right?
Dude.
But then you're kind of negating the savings because you're listening to the radio at volume to get over the lawnmower.
100%.
It's like I'm listening to, so instead of listening to my lawnmower at a loud volume, I'm listening to the radio at loud. This is just kind of like, I thought about it. It wasn't the utility, but I was able to keep up with what was going on while cutting the lawn at Stately Olson Manor West.
To show how nerdy of a 13-year-old kid I was, or potentially how cool I was at 13. I had gotten a couple of noise complaints on listening to sports radio in the backyard while I was playing during the summer too loud by the certain neighbors. So the Walkman Sony earbuds,
they were money.
They were pretty sweet. Got baptized into me, and I wore those sons of guns out.
Yeah, Walkman was awesome. That was probably the coolest thing I ever got as a gift, other than I think when I was 9 or 10, the Mr. Microphone. Do you remember Mr. Microphone?
Oh, I remember the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
I had a Mr. Microphone.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later. Hey, good looking.
Microphone.
These dudes stalking this woman walking down the sidewalk, and they're in a car. And Mr. Microphone would actually, you could go right over your radio, right?
Any FM radio, you could just dial in and just broadcast over. It was like a early karaoke type.
Oh,
deal.
that is unreal.
It was.
But broadcast over the FM signal.
But the commercial Drew's referring to is these guys in a car, and this pretty girl's walking down the sidewalk, and this dude gets on Mr. Microphone and says, hey, good looking.
We'll be
back to pick you up later.
Cheesy, cringy 70s commercial.
Mr. Microphone.
Yeah, this whole headphone talk, though, has me like, this was a controversy at my house when my Sprout was very young, because my wife came home and I was wearing my lawn mowing over the ear protection, holding my crying baby. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm taking care of the kid. She's like, that's awful. I'm like, no, it's not. She doesn't know. The kid's like 6 months old. She doesn't know. If she's going to cry, I'm just going to make it more pleasant for me. There's nothing I can do to stop the crying.
Oh, that's
so I had those on. And it wasn't like an affront. I thought this was a marketing opportunity.
I thought it was genius.
Sell these to new dads.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then maybe when your wife's complaining that you didn't load the dishwasher right, you put those on again. It's like, when you're not tune it out.
It's a Saturday Night Live bit.
Yeah.
Dude, on Monday night, I invoked this exact same strategy, and I thought of Drew as I did it, because I'm just getting mercilessly screamed at. I'm like, brother, you are okay. You are okay. Everything is fine. You're going to burn out those little 13-month-old vocal cords screaming. I put the cans on real quick.
That's hilarious.
And then, 15 minutes later, he was asleep. He's like, well, how did you think of that?
Why didn't I think of that? So many years of fatherhood.
Right across the way from me gave me the idea, and he got yelled at for it. I got called a genius for it.
See?
Times
have changed.
So good.
Acceptance is really the only reason.
So yeah, but the Parker McCollum thing, he kept me awake, but it sounded like a good show. I'm sure people had a good time.
Looking at social media, it looked like it was pretty full.
Yeah, he's a pretty legit production, like his,
Right. Yeah, kind of an appetizer to the Summer Fest concert season, which is really going to start kicking in. Was it Pride Fest started last night? So I guess that's the official major concert kickoff at the Summer
first
Fest
one of the grounds, and then last night, and so yesterday was we were 2 weeks out. 2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
It was day one of Summerfest.
Next week you get Polish Fest.
That's right.
I don't know who's coming to that.
They are still selling Mr. Microphones.
Are they really?
As seen on TV. However, times have changed. The wireless karaoke microphone, and it does not look like it is somehow pluggable into a radio, but now they've allowed it, and they even advertise that can be used for kids podcasting.
Wow.
So there's some speakers here onto the side of it that it almost appears like that's where the volume comes from.
I would assume after a while the FCC probably deemed that thing illegal to be going over FM frequencies.
You would think.
But maybe not.
It doesn't interfere with anything more than the radio that you're hooked up to, kind of like a Bluetooth deal.
1978 commercial.
Hey, what's that? Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing. I'm on the radio.
These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone, the cordless microphone that actually puts your voice on the radio. There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
There it is. There it is.
I'll remember that verbatim.
Hey, good looking.
Oh, cringy.
Oh, my.
Cringe.
That is hilarious. It sounded like Bob Costas doing the voiceover there, too.
That was actually his 13th Emmy he won on that one. Oh, it gets even better. This cat's shirtless in his backyard.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't believe that.
I'm doubting that
And
one.
you can, too. It's practical and great fun for the whole family. And for only $12.88, they really make great Christmas
$12.88.
gifts.
The perfect Christmas gift at Walgreens, Woolworth, Woolco, Osco, Venture, Weebolts, Montgomery Ward.
Amazing.
Montgomery Ward.
Montgomery Ward. Oh,
I remember Coach Ditka
God.
had an endorsement with Montgomery Ward.
Oh, my God. So that's just wild.
We used to call it monkey warts.
Yes.
The best thing is the 13 seconds or the 3-second video, the clip of "Hey, good looking, we'll be back to pick you up later," is the icon.
It is.
And it is just the creepiest guy with a beautiful set of curly locks that are only out of the late 70s.
That's amazing.
And he's got a grin on his face, like, just so you know, good looking. We're coming.
There's a reason you hire these Madison Avenue advertising execs to do your thing, because they're timeless. I mean, there's certain things you remember from your childhood. For guys like Drew and I, we remember that. We remember I've fallen and I can't get up. Where's the beef? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget. Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
I'm glad that "Where's the Beef," though, is fully timeless. I mean, we had a kid playing at Arrowhead, one of our offensive linemen, whose name was Wellington, right? So it almost felt like Beef Wellington. He quickly became "Where's the Beef" and had T-shirts made up by the end of the end of his tenure. That's one of the greatest captions always. Beef, it's what's for dinner. You don't lose some of those, especially when it's as creepy as that. I mean, there's nothing that's going to replace that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that's
cringy. All right, Dolph, Christian Watson got his deal. Are we numb to this? Like Billy and I were talking about, they got him for $110 million, like $30 million signing bonus. What's that like when that hits your direct deposit? When that hits your account before it gets dispersed to the investment guys and the money guys? Like,
so what does your check look like every 2 weeks? What does it go from what to what? What was he pulling down this past season? You know, was it 5-6 million, something like that?
A little more
than that. Yeah.
His deal a year ago, as I have 19 different keyboards to be able to get the number for you. He had signed 11 million a year ago, Drew. So it was, his game check is probably in the 700,000s. But after taxes, probably closer to 5.
Yeah. 5, yeah.
Man, when you see that green go right next to there on that bank account, and it says 3-1 and a whole bunch of zeros back there,
There's not a house you can't afford in Brown County.
you might be able to afford the entire neighborhood in Brown County.
For sure, by a subdivision.
Do the Packers? You guys would know this. Do the Packers have their own subdivision where they all live?
No, they're kind of spread out.
Yeah.
But there are some where there's like a couple coaches, maybe a player or two that live in the same development.
Okay.
Because was that
not like a...
See, now, Dolph, we need to bank this one because Armin would have this dialed in. In 96, they did a prank on Mike Holmgren where they went trick-or-treating, Favre, BB, and I think Frank Winters. And it was something like BB lived in the neighborhood as Holmgren.
Okay.
They knew exactly where everyone was at.
Yeah.
But they were all close enough that they were able to get in there for kind of some trick-or-treats. I assume.
Didn't Kuhn say the same? It was he close to McCarthy, the same area?
I believe so, yes. Yeah. So Watson this year was 1 year, $11 million, and that was a $6 million signing bonus. So again, I mean, you're getting a certain amount of that up front right out of the gates. And I think back to it was Hard Knocks when John Dorsey with the every single day crew neck sweatshirt and the button down shirt, collar out of the crew neck, looks down at Baker Mayfield and says, "All right, so you sign here, initial here, one signature here, and then we'll have a $12.7 million direct deposit into your account on Tuesday." And he has the pen in his hand. He leans back. He's like, I'm going to smoke after that. I'm going to need a second.
What an amazing thing to experience.
Oh my, that would be, we talk about it like it's just monopoly money or something, but it's real money. These guys they're basically winning the lottery all the time in sports. Like, oh man.
I remember when A-Rod's the baseball player, not the football player, when he signed that first big $250 million deal, was it the Rangers?
Yeah.
I remember sitting down and saying, well, okay, here's the Texas tax laws and just what he was going to bring in. And it was just insane, obviously, insane money for us. But now it's just pretty commonplace.
Doug Melvin was general manager of the Rangers at the time. Tom Hicks was the owner, and Hicks is like, we're going to go make this big move. And ended up not really working out. But Doug said when he signed the contract, his hand was shaking because of how much money was involved. $252 million.
That's insane. You bring up Tom Hicks. Okay. Go a different alley here.
$25 million a year for 10 years.
He was one of the long time ago partial owners of this radio station.
Indeed.
Clear Channel back in the
Really?
day. Hicks Tate Muse was the big agency. And yeah, they had a big stake in us way back when, probably 20, 25 years ago.
Oh, man.
Tom Hicks, owner of the Rangers.
So at some point, I can say my paycheck would have been signed by the same guy that signed Alex Rodriguez's.
Kind of, sort of.
I moved around 4 different ways.
It's been so long since I've seen a paycheck. I don't know who signs our paychecks.
It's very true.
It's been so long since I've received
It's
a check.
crazy. So 10 years, $25 million a year. It's almost like that can be how you end up buying into an NBA team.
Yeah.
You get that
Right.
kind of money that early on for A-Rod. That kind of makes sense how A-Rod Corp started.
Tom Hicks just died like right before Christmas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow. George W. was a part of that too, wasn't he?
He was,
Was he the president of the Rangers?
Partner or something? Yeah,
Okay.
so whatever they call it. I think he was president. But yeah, Hicks owned like 3 teams, and he did make that merger. It was Clear Channel merged with AM/FM Inc.
Wow.
Back in the day.
I just remember we went through, I think, 4 owners in 2 years here. I don't even remember who they were, but I know we ended up with Clear Channel. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe they'll have us a year or 2. And then here we are, 30 years later, still Clear Channel /
Clear
iHeart.
Channel.
When you buy a company, you give Scott Dolphin like employee.
You got to just
Keep riding with it, and nothing's going to get better than that.
Billy from your mouth, that's ear.
Yeah.
I just got to let you know, Dolph, I'm going to listen to more Mr. Microphone commercials throughout the rest of the day.
Hey, good looking.
I think I'm going to show that to just about everybody I encounter today. Keep that just holstered up on my YouTube. And hey, have you seen this video from 1978?
It's timeless. It's held up well over the years, hasn't it?
That is so funny. Hey, good
so
looking. We'll be back
cringe.
to come
So
pick you
cringe.
up later.
All right. Well, golf. Dolph, you're golfing today, or you're planning to, right?
Monday.
Oh, Monday.
I'll miss you guys Monday morning. I'm
We
playing.
play today because like we're getting rain across the area.
Yeah, it's coming
Much
down
of
pretty
the
good.
listening area. It's coming down pretty good, and we haven't had it in a while. We thought, oh, how bad does that suck? It's been dry for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you got a golf date on Friday, and it's like, here comes the rain.
Yeah. Billy, have fun with that.
Well, luckily, you know what? I think I might just go to Fuzzies instead.
Okay, there you go.
That feels like a bloody Mary and an omelet might be a better. That might be a
Dolph, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it.
All right, fellas, thanks.
We're past halftime of the Armin Sarianless Huddle. You're listening to Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Friday edition of the Huddle, broadcasting live from headquarters. Drew Wilson and Bill Schmid. Armin is out. South Beach, sorry, and he is bachelor partying. Follow his exploits on Snapchat because his ex account has been hijacked.
I told him, Drew, he really needs to figure it out. He really needs to get with the times and get a TikTok or an Instagram. Right? Like, I mean, Instagram, Miami is Instagram territory.
No question.
I think that might be Miami's favorite social media would be IG, and the dancing videos that you can find on different yachts like that he'll probably be hanging out with all this newfound crypto cash he's got. But I would assume that there's going to be a couple of those.
Yeah, I would think so.
You got to get some of it leak out. We got to be able to see a little bit of it. Now, I don't know that he'd be posting too much good stuff on Twitter throughout the bachelor party, but how do you think Armin's going to be handling it down there in South Beach with even more rumblings of his favorite Giannis Antetokounmpo going to the Miami Heat?
Yeah, that's going to be the thing. Like, we talked about how the Christian Watson thing kind of just fell out of the sky, much like the Jaden Reed thing. It's like, oh, Christian Watson got extended. Wow. That's the Giannis trade is going to happen. Like, you're going to be in the middle of the day and it's like, boom. Like, oh, yeah. 4-team, 9-player deal.
Yeah, it's going to happen quick, and
it's going to happen.
After yesterday, it seems like it's pretty locked in that it will happen at some point during. What do you think? The next week? 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. I would say we're T-minus 2 weeks.
I'm just not sold though that they're all locked in for sure on Miami as much as people are.
No, me either.
Towards.
Me either. Like I said, it's going to be like a complicated bank shot of teams and players going this way and that way and draft picks.
There's a sudden little drumbeat for Boston too. His camp
and for OKC.
And his camp kind of dropped it out there like, hey, Giannis is very intrigued about going to Boston.
Yeah. Would he go to OKC? A similar market? Like, does he really want to win? Does he want to live there? Is that, it's Milwaukee like?
Drew, that's a great question. I don't know what we're going to find out exactly what he wants. Because it's always been he wants the bright lights of New York. Well, he wanted to be a Knick. They're not going to trade for him, right? They're not blowing up that team. We both think they're going to win the title. So that's out of the equation. If you really want to go to Miami, that feels like the South Beach Bucks to me, with whatever that team ends up looking like after the trade. If you really want to go and win championships, which this has always been talked about, the best place to go would be OKC.
For sure.
But I don't know, and this is maybe the test that we're seeing more of. What is the interest in Giannis as much in front office circles, and is it as much as it is in fan circles?
That is a great question. That is one that we'll find out in a couple of weeks. Absolutely. Hey, what does Dad want for Father's Day? How about some Iron Jock?
That's what he wants. Thank you.
That's right. Paulie Hansen, our buddy from Iron Jock. We've been with him for a long time. Great bundle deals available now at ironjoc.com. T-shirt and low-cut socks for $35, or a polo and a cap, perfect for the golf course, $65, or the all-new lightweight hoodie and joggers, an entire outfit that Dad can wear year-round for $100. Make him stylish, make him happy. Check out the Father's Day bundles now through June 21st, ironjoc.com. Giannis, of course, he probably he'll have his new destination probably by Father's Day.
I think he's going to know. They keep saying he's going to put the thumb on the scales, Drew. He's going to put his thumb on the scales. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know how forcing he's going to be. I don't know how much he wants to play the villain, but he really wants to go to Miami, and that's going to be the package the Bucks accept. I think he might have to be a little bit more aggressive.
Might have to be. All right, we've got some real estate to cover. We need some audience participation. 877-794-1973 gets you into the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We've got our
got some good ones on the top.
Donovan Jorgensen heating and cooling. Who's hot, who's not? We got our current electric superhero. Plenty to get through in the final hour of not only today's program but of the week for us. Don't go anywhere. We're going to finish strong without Armin. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. We start at American Family Field, where it was play from behind early for Brewers rookie pitcher Coleman Crowe.
His first pitch of the day, Casey Schmidt swings away and hits a high drive out towards left center field, all the way back to the wall, and off the top of the wall, and gone! Schmidt on the first pitch of the game. It's his 13th home run.
Giants TV with the call. Former Brewer Eric Haas added a grand slam. Current Brewer Jackson Churio had 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. It was a slugfest, but San Francisco earns the split 12-9. The Brewers now head to Denver for 3 with Colorado. Game 1 tonight starts at 7:40. Brandon Sproat will pitch against Ryan Feltner. And the Packers make it clear who their top wide receiver is. They lock down Christian Watson for the next 4 years for $110 million. A reported $31 million of that is guaranteed. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit out now and make the play.
Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armin Sarian.
Zip. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Locked and loaded for the last hour of the Friday edition of the Huddle. Drew Olson and Bill Schmid. Armin not with us today. South Beach Sarian. He is airborne already, I'm sure. Despite the little rain, I'm sure he got off on time. He's our flight aware guy. So who is it that checks Armin's flight status?
I don't even think his wife checks his flight status.
Probably not.
No, that's the one thing, Drew, that I wish I could be better at. And I haven't seen it happen in the wild unless I've been with Armin, right? Like we had the house up, the flop house for training camp one in the last couple of years. And, you know, it was, do you want to take a walk around Lambeau Field? That's Armin's, version of a long walk on the beach is around the parking lot of Lambeau Field, which is a very romantic spot for Brown County. It's like, yeah, sure. And quickly a jet flies over the top of us and my man busts out the phone to check out the flight aware. I was at the park the other day with the little guys, Drew, and some guy did that in the air. He goes, oh, we'll check where that plane's going. All right. There's an Armin. There are more amongst us that are hitting flight aware. So I will I'll get some eyes on his bird, figure out where that son of a gun is. But he was flying American Airlines, so our furry Armenian wasn't very happy. It's one of his least favorite companies in the world.
Yep. One of my favorite companies in the world, Game Day Men's Health.
Thank you.
Boom.
That's what I'm talking about.
Please check them out online. They have a clinic in Middleton, several in the Milwaukee area. If you're not feeling like yourself, again, we're getting to be, Billy, it's the danger zone. Like we're in June 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Summer officially starts in a couple weeks, but it's already here once we get to Memorial Day.
You're right on that.
So the idea that you're going to get in shape for summer, well, you might be able to get in shape during summer, but if you're not yet, but if you're just lacking motivation in general, if you've got weight gain, brain fog, any of the symptoms that affect men as they age, as testosterone naturally declines, well, Game Day Men's Health can help you. Free, no obligation consult for you. Just pick a clinic near you, go in and do it. 45 minutes in and out the door, and you might change your life. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com for more information. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. All right. You can reach us on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. If you're just waking up, which many are, where have you been? We were here at 5. The 5 o'clock club gathers daily at 5 a.m. And we've already discussed the Brewers. We heard Hunter's recap of the Brewers' loss yesterday and a couple of bullpen injuries to D.L. Hall, which sounds like it could be serious. Mm-hmm. He's definitely headed for the IL. He didn't make the trip to Colorado. He's getting an MRI. And then, you got Grant Anderson, who's hit, but the x-rays were negative. He's just got a big bruise, and he's going to try to play catch today. So it sounds like they'll be making some kind of move today to help the bullpen.
And maybe a couple, Drew. Like the tough thing for Crow's performance yesterday. Now, I don't know what Woodford's option status is. I think he's out of them. That's why they were able to get him from Tampa, right? Was that
he's
where they
a
grabbed him?
Veteran dude. So, it would make sense.
Where, I mean, Crow might almost have to go down just because you're going to need innings.
Your logic is not flawed.
And not because obviously the performance doesn't necessarily earn you something, but hard to take him out for the first 4 that he's given you, but you're going to need somebody to provide you some help here.
He threw 70 pitches, so he's on the shelf for a couple of days, and you're going to need, especially in Coors Field.
Oh man. Backing up a Sproat start too.
And I don't know what the dynamics are going to be like. I imagine that ball's going to jump a little bit in Vegas at the minor league park too.
Yeah, a little bit of a bandbox. I mean, it's going to be hot there. It's going to be into the hundreds, and humidity won't be necessarily a problem, but it'll be flying pretty good. They're also into the mountains, a little bit into the hills there in Vegas too. So I assume it'll be a bit of a launching pad. I'm very excited to see Brandon Sproat get a chance after Murph talked the way he did though about him after his last start, because I've done a little bit of the 180, Drew, where I was ready very much for somebody other than Brandon Sproat to be starting games. But as you see somebody struggle in the development part of it, it's like, all right, I think we've had enough. And then what do you say? Give him another week.
Yeah, exactly.
Give him another week or 10 days.
Can't stand looking at it anymore. Give him another week.
Give him another week, because if you're going to let him grow into the starter you think he can be, that's part of the development is taking it on the chin and then coming back 5 days later.
Well, you liked what you saw out of Gasser, right? He earned another turn.
Definitely did.
Now, can Sproat do the same? We'll see.
How much can Chad Patrick give him, do you think? I mean, what way he throw 50 pitches the other night?
Yeah.
And he worked pretty extensively after Gasser. I wonder if that's going to be the pairing, but they're going to need some innings, and we've been waiting for the Jared Koenig return, and it looks like that one's going to be a couple more weeks after what we saw in the results for his last time.
Woodruff might be the starting guy that they get back, but they're going to need some innings. They'll get creative. I know Zastryzny just went down, right? But that was an injury, so you can't bring him back.
We had on the talk and text line version of the way that you can communicate with us at 877-794-1973. Somebody asked about the Woodruff deal, 608. Wait, Woodruff not really hurt? Is this simply some season management? It's expensive at that. No, he's definitely hurt, but there's a balancing act there, right? Like, if you believe he can go, then he's going to go. But if you believe that you're being at all a little bit more aggressive with the return, right, then you pump the brakes. It's difficult because you paid him the most money any pitcher has gotten, Drew, for a single season in Milwaukee, but the money's spent. So that's like the Rengifo comment that we got yesterday during Hunter's show. The money's spent at this point, right? Like there's no Mark Attanasio trying to trim and cut books like people believe there is, of saying, well, let's make sure we save an extra $250K so we can fire up those prime rib sandwiches for another Wisco day.
Not happening.
I don't think that's happening. That's not the salt they're in. But there is some season management, I believe, here with Woody.
Yeah, I think, well, if he's
clearly hurt, but you don't want to, you
if
can't be
ready to
all
pitch,
aggressive with it, right? Is that
there's
fair
no
to say?
sense hurrying him. Well, just like it's similar to the left side of the infield, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And Ken Rosenthal has a piece that's unlocked at The Athletic about how
behind the paywall. Come on,
about how the Brewers, they may be looking at mid-June, because that's when you can trade Rengifo, right? And you can move Rengifo. You can do some things.
Okay, so right around Flag Day would be another Pratt line of demarcation day.
Yes, that's probably a good way to look at it.
Do you think Pratt's first, or would it be Williams in your baseball sense and estimation? Because I mean, people have mentioned it like Joey Ortiz could go back and play third base. David Hamilton played a bunch of third base. Now, both of them are playing shortstop mostly here. But if you're going to bring up Pratt, you've paid him the money. I would assume you're going to keep him at short, right? I'd assume that's the spot. But if it's a third baseman, you're going to keep that platoon over at short.
So
maybe it is the short king, Jet Williams, joining his crew.
Here's what Rosenthal said. Wondering when the Brewers might promote shortstop Cooper Pratt and or third baseman Jet Williams? June 16th, the first date teams can trade free agents in the first year of contracts without their consent, is a day to keep in mind. Luis Rengifo, whom the Brewers signed to a 1-year, $3.5 million free agent deal, likely has minimal trade value. He's batting .204 with a .531 OPS.
Yikes.
But rather than release him, the Brewers surely would prefer to find a taker that might give them either a measure of financial relief or a low-level prospect in return. Williams could replace Rengifo at third. Pratt, who is hitting respectably at AAA, could become the starter at short, with Jory Ortiz either remaining with the club in a utility role or getting demoted to the minors. As well as the Brewers are playing, there's no urgency to any of this, so no need to disrupt a good thing.
Yeah,
Rosenthal's take.
If we could get these guys to just hit, maybe they'd be in first place conversation.
That's right.
Is right there. Obviously, you're vigilant. You want to hold off everybody behind you, but there's only so much that you can do. You got to take care of your own house, and right now, their house is taking on some water on the injury front. So just like as difficult as, and we can do the old cliche of, what do you need in these 10 games to be able to continue your pace as winning the division? I mean, 5-5 isn't what you're shooting for when you're playing the Giants, Rockies, and A's. Right. But the way their pitching looks right now, Drew, I guess I would take it. Like 6-4 looks a hell of a lot different than 5-5 as long as you go and win both of these series. But they're in a spot where you just got to rip 10 days off the calendar, 11 days off the calendar, and get closer and closer to a finish line and an off day.
That's right.
I mean, their off day after that Vegas trip, I assume they definitely got circled up.
Definitely. Also buried in this, well, not buried, but in the Ken Rosenthal column that's free, there's an item about Bryce Terang. And Dodgers third base coach Dino Ebel served as the Team USA third base coach for Mark DeRosa. And one day he asked DeRosa, if you had to pick the guy who's hit the ball furthest consistently in BP, who do you think it was? And DeRosa said, Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge? No, the answer was Bryce Terang.
Ooh,
in BP. Said he had Shohei-type power.
Jeez Louise.
In BP. Now, as Rosenthal points out, Terang's 26. We know that athletes peak at 27. Coming off an 18-homer season last year with a bunch of them in August, right?
Mm-hmm.
This year, he has 7 homers. And this Dino Ebel believes that he is capable of one day hitting 35 to 40.
Holy cow. I was thinking 25-25 is a heck of a jump for him, but
Baseball America, in its report on Terang entering the 2018 draft, said at 6'1", 165 pounds, the biggest knock on him is his size. And at the time, 165 might have been generous.
Mm-hmm. Very fair to say.
Terang has gained 35 pounds of muscle since the Brewers drafted him 21st overall out of Santiago High School in Corona, California. His biggest weight jump came after his rookie season in 2023 when he said he gained 25 pounds, eating everything you could possibly eat and drinking tons of protein shakes.
Okay, well, that'll work.
He's increased his weight to the 185, 190-pound range right now. So, by the way, this guy, his strength and conditioning coach is Keith Corey, who he's been working with since he was 16. And he ran the performance side at a baseball training center opened by Terang's father.
Okay. See, now this Bryce Terang family, Drew, these bloodlines, I always like looking at bloodlines when you're trying to forecast athletes. Hard to find better ones than the Terang family.
That's right. Yeah. And he says he's like the worst athlete in his family.
He's got like 3 Division I athlete sisters. Dad played in the majors.
His strength coach said that Terang was worried that he'd lose speed if he put on weight. And now this guy, Corey, who now works at MW Athletics, founded by former NFL safety Marcus Williams, said one doesn't have to come at the expense of the other. The goal was to create the best athlete possible, regardless of sport. And Terang said, I look skinny, but with the strength side of things, the explosiveness, running, all that stuff, he's helped me tremendously. A good bit of why I'm here today is just from the training I've had with him and his knowledge of training.
He does look like the frame is as probably filled as you want it to be. But there's to add some muscle, especially in the lower half, that's only going to help you in the speed department.
Yeah.
I mean, that explosiveness is a real thing. And the sudden movements you got to have at second is a piece. The 35 to 40 number is still jarring in my mind, but to say that I couldn't see it I very much could see that kind of pop continuing in his bat. I wonder if how much the weather turning will be a part of it. And Bryce Terang getting into a launching pad at Coors Field, you could easily see him grabbing 2 of those bombs coming up this weekend.
For sure. What do you think is the ceiling? And we don't talk about him much in this context anymore because he's still getting established. Jackson Chourio is 22 years old.
That's hard to think of. Yes.
And he hit 2 homers yesterday, giving him 4, his first 2 homers at AmFam Field. He's got 4 on the season in 107 at bats. So, with the injury, he's hitting 300. He's hitting 308.
Yeah, and as quiet of a 308 hitter since he's come back as you could have, probably.
So 4 homers, that works out to, 20, 24 homers on the season.
24, 25. I think
he's on pace for it. What's his ceiling for power?
I think 35 for him is very much attainable. Right? Like, a full season playing at his potential. I guess let me check what Acuna's are, because it feels like that's always been the easiest comparison was him and Ronald Acuna. And now Acuna might have a little bit more easy natural power, would you say, than Chourio? Acuna in his biggest power season went 41 bombs in 2019 and 41 in 2023. I guess I don't know that he's a 40 homer guy.
So
I can definitely see mid 30s.
In his first 2 seasons, given like the full complement of at bats, over 500 at bats, he hit 21. And that's just 21. He hit that at like 19 or 20 years old.
20 years old and stealing the 20 bags as well.
21 is like the baseline for him. And he's on pace to do that, I guess. Looking at it this year, he's on pace to hit around 20. But when does he take the leap and make it to that 35? Again, he's 22 years old.
Maybe in year 4 of the contract, which is funny to believe. And you felt like it was going to be a bargain. And again, once you actually see him on the field, you realize why.
And that's why I don't know if Terang's ever going to be a 35 or 40 guy. I don't know about that.
You don't realize just how many homers that is.
Yeah, because when you're hitting like 18 and you're 26, 27, I guess between 27 and 30 guys can have a spike, but it seems put it this way, I like Chourio's chances of being in that class more than Terang's.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Also, it feels like Chourio's natural driving the ball to right field is going to find more balls over the fence.
Yeah.
Like that one yesterday, the first one, that thing had eyes for that buffet table in that short porch and right. I don't know if it could have seen itself going over the wall any easier than that, but he deserved one after he wasn't able to snag the one off the yellow line on the first pitch. But you could tell there's even more pop in that bat. Terang's, like we've seen it, obviously, and the playoff home run was a blast well over the head of PCA. But I guess I haven't been able to witness, and fans haven't been able to witness that kind of batting practice power. Dave Gasper used to tell us about it all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Like he puts on absolute displays during batting practice.
Just absolutely rakes.
We need to flip this thing around every once in a while at a Brewers game, where the Brewers players need to do batting practice while fans are in there so we can see these things launch into the moon from Bryce Terang. Think about how many more jerseys you're selling of number 2s if that's the case.
That makes so much. Stop injecting logic into this, Billy.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll cut that out. All right. Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Check them out. The HVAC experts, employee owned for 40 years. If you're looking for a job, go to their website, DonovanJorgensen.com. Hiring. Billy, who do you got for Who's Hot and Who's Not?
I got a couple of nominees for the hot category. Brett Howden, even though in a loss last night for the Vegas Golden Knights, scored a pair of goals, gave Vegas a 2-0 lead in the second period. But Carolina came back with 3 goals in 6 minutes in the third period to retake the lead. Mark Stone's got his second goal in back-to-back games. Jordan Staal, the captain, though, for Carolina, gave him at the one point the leading goal at 3-2. He's got a goal in back-to-back games. So Carolina Hurricanes get themselves back into the hot category. They've only lost twice in the Stanley Cup playoffs, one of which in game 1 there. That one's even going back to Vegas on Saturday night for game number 3 there. Tonight in the NBA, you better see a hot Wemby, right? I think you're going to need to see a hot Wemby and Julian Champagny. Champagny had 5 triples in game number 1, drew the game, obviously, tonight, the cliche question is it clearly means more for the Spurs. It's obviously the mustest of must-win games for the Spurs. Is 6 enough at the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
Ooh.
For you to be taking the New York Knicks? Because it does feel like the Spurs are going to have to get themselves up off the mat here tonight.
It's a kitchen sink game for them.
Oh, man. Everything and anything getting thrown over there.
Basically.
Wemby was far from hot in game 1.
Yeah, but he was bad in game 5 against OKC.
That's fair.
And then he was lights out in 6 and 7.
And then he was spectacular right after.
I'm not writing him off yet.
He said, don't worry about it. I'll be okay. In the not category, due to an injury, it's very rare that Aaron Judge finds himself in the not category.
Oh, I know.
Ooh. 4 to 6 weeks until they give more imaging. Stress fracture on his rib. That's a weird place for a stress fracture, it feels like.
He went from a day-to-day injury to a month-to-month injury. Looking at an August return if everything goes right.
That is a tough
6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks till they even do an image again. Rough one.
Yeah, that's where you clearly understand that this is a waiting game for Judge.
And that's
he
where,
might not be back for a while.
No shedding tears for the Yankees, but
no.
They got other guys that can step up that they're paying a lot of money to.
One that I don't like putting in the hot category, but over the last week, he's got 3 bombs and had a walk-off base hit last night. Winner for the Chicago Cubs would be PCA. 2 hits last night. Had a solo shot in there as well. But, Drew, I don't know if you saw the highlight, also had a glitch.
Oh, he lost the ball in the lights.
Where he lost the ball in the lights. It fell right behind him.
Here cost him the game and a sweep and oh, God, that would have been catastrophic.
It's the second inside the park homer, well, Little League inside the park homer, if you count David Hamilton's behind him, that he's got on the season, which is one of the oddest numbers for somebody that earns the right to be the best defensive center fielder in ball. Over the last month, he's had 2 balls that just completely glow away from him, and the guy runs all the way around.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. But then he wins it with a walk-off. That was pretty big for the Cubs to avoid.
Huge, dude. They're about to get swept by the A's at home
and
be 1 game over 500 instead. Now they're 33-30. And they get 12 games against the Giants and Rockies over the next week and a half. One guy that I'm very excited to never see again over the last couple of days, Jung-Ho Lee.
Oh, yeah. Raking.
Goes 1 for 4 with a run scored in game 1 against the Brewers. Pinch hit, 1 run, knocks in a run in the second game of the series, then comes in for a 2 for 4 event on game 3. And yesterday, 4 for 5 with a double and 3 runs scored and 1 driven in. And also a right arm contusion for Grant Anderson as he scolded that thing right up off the forearm.
Yeah, love it. That is Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating, Cooling, Plumbing. You're looking for a hot deal for Father's Day. The Admirals have a hat trick deal going on right now. 2 vouchers that Dad can redeem for a game in October, November, or December.
You might be that person, too.
And an Admirals hat. So check it out. The cutoff date for shipping is June 11th, so move expeditiously. The Admirals office closed today, but they're open Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You want to stop in and see some smiling faces, maybe buy some merchandise along with your Father's Day pack of 2 ticket vouchers. So you're going to a game for $49 and Dad gets a hat. Check it out at MilwaukeeAdmirals.com.
And most likely Dad's bringing you.
That's
again the best part.
Yeah.
Now, what happens when Dad says, hey, thanks, by the way, you're not going?
Well, then that leads to a little family strife.
Then Thanksgiving might be a little bit tougher right around that time.
A little awkward because that's about when you'd be doing it too. So you can always buy extras and tack on. So
see, that's fair. Then you might as well just get 2.
Might as well grab some. Yeah, absolutely. So check that out at MilwaukeeAdmirals.com. When we come back, our current electric superhero lies ahead. We got a wake and bake story.
I got a
looming.
local one too for the superhero of the day, Drew. Very excited for this one.
Fantastic. I can hardly wait. We are making it through the Friday edition without Armin. He is South Beach Sarian this weekend at a bachelor party. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Friday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, Drew Wilson, Bill Schmidt, Armin out today. That's why we need some audience participation. 877-794-1973 gets you to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We know that the Brewers are going to be a going concern. When we convene on Monday morning, we'll be talking about Armin's trip to South Beach for the bachelor party. We'll be talking about the Brewers and the Rockies in their 3-game series that begins tonight at Coors Field. Be getting ready for Brewers athletics in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the next big story in Wisconsin sports? Is it the Giannis situation? Now that we have the Christian Watson extension, I think the Packers will go quiet for a while.
Yep.
Because I think they'll pop the Devontae Wyatt extension and a potential Tucker Kraft extension down the road a piece.
Mm-hmm. I think both of those come right around training camp.
Yeah, close towards, midway through camp or something. Or maybe even with Kraft, maybe they wait until he's back.
I think the Kraft one too. Well, and if you fully believe what Micah Parsons said the other day, where he's like, it's 9 months, no football, at least for him, because he had other things in the ACL recovery.
That's right.
Kraft's was just ACL. So maybe his is a little bit different. I would wonder if that could be the little boost, the morale boost that happens mid training camp, Drew, where again, they don't, plan these things just to get the boys hyped up. But there's a good time in the middle of camp when if somebody's going to get paid, then everybody on the field knows they're going for a steak dinner that night, right? Like,
that's right.
Maybe that's why you hold off on Devontae Wyatt's until like the third week of pads, just so the D-line can know that they're going to go and get themselves some good hibachi up in Green Bay, or maybe go up to Chives. Maybe that's the spot. Maybe they're going to Chives after to be able to enjoy, and they're not using any gift cards. They don't need any. They're using that direct deposit that's hitting Devontae Wyatt's account. So the Giannis one has to be soonest down the pike. And did that feel like news to you yesterday? The Brett Siegel or Segal, or I don't mean to disrespect him and his family, but Stein kind of had it as well over the last couple of days, that it appears Milwaukee Bucks ownership has made the decision that they're going to move Giannis. I don't know that really felt like news. I think we all kind of knew that was coming, right?
Yeah. I mean,
was there a last little bit of folks that were holding out hope? I'm not positive on that. It feels like it's kind of been ticketed to this for quite some time now.
Well, I pointed to Jimmy Haslam and the Myles Garrett situation as optimistic.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody thought he was going to be gone. He was demanding a trade, and he stayed in Cleveland. Well, now they traded him.
And then they quickly moved off from him too. They
So
said,
what
all
does
right,
that
well,
mean?
we'll see this one too.
Yeah. So what exactly does that mean?
I think it clearly means that while there won't be as hard of feelings as I think there could have been if this continued to roll through, right? This drags out maybe another 3 or 4 months. Then both sides might feel some sort of way about the other one going forward. And there might be a little bit of frostiness when he possibly returns or does return to have obviously his number retired and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's the easiest time for it to happen. But to catch-22, we want our superstars to be loyal. We want them to stay and always be considerate and mindful of the team they're with. But we want to talk about yesterday's Brewers game, Drew, as the what-if bowl. This finals for Giannis has to be like the what-if series. The last couple of years, it felt like people always wanted to put him on the Spurs, and Wemby and Giannis would be unreal. That would be so much fun. They're a young, hot shot team, and well, they don't need them. They're in the finals. And the Knicks were the team that reportedly, he told the Bucks ownership earlier this offseason to say, trade me to the Knicks. I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to be a Knick. I want to play at MSG. And, you can have Karl Anthony Towns back. Congratulations. And now they're in the finals, so they're not taking them. So, like, the longer you...
And Towns is playing great.
And Towns is playing great. He was the reason they won game 1. So, like, it's difficult. If he does what all other superstars maybe do in that situation, Drew, and causes a massive public stink about it, maybe Giannis is playing in the finals tonight. Like, that's a tough thing for you to sit back with if you desperately wanted it and you really wanted it, and there was clearly some tough feelings, I thought, on both sides throughout the year. I wonder how he's sitting back watching these games thinking, what if I would have put my thumb on the scale a little bit more and made sure that I was in New York during the off season. That's a fascinating one for him to sit with. So I anticipate here before June 23rd, we get an answer, and it better not be that Miami Heat package though that they keep flirting now. Yeah. There's got to be a little bit more to it. There's got to be more to it than your boy Jaime Jaquez.
Jaime Jaquez, who's going to be an expiring soon, right?
No thanks. Let's step it up a little bit, Pat Riley. Let's find something a little bit better.
Let's step it up. You want to step it up? You got to step it up to be named our Current Electric Superhero of the Day. Brought to us by Current Electric. They got the superheroes on the side of the van. They are your superheroes. Check out callcurrent.com to get started. They've done work at Stately Olson Manor. I know these guys, man. They do a good job.
They're great.
So you need to check these guys out. Whatever your needs may be, if you want a generator, which is important for saving that
Very
basement,
nowadays.
Deck out your backyard. You need an EV charger. Check out our friends at Current Electric. Call current.com. Billy, who's our superhero of the day?
Well, this one is going to be a hero to some at American Family Field this weekend, Drew, because it is Banana Ball invading American Family Field coming up this weekend. Tomorrow night.
Forgot about that, because it's like you think the Brewers are out of town, so there won't be any traffic implications. They're going to have huge crowds for these games.
They're going to have some big sellout crowds for the Party Animals against the Loco Beach Coconuts. And no, that is not the Parrot Head Association. Although maybe if they
could be.
If they turn the general parking lot, Drew, into like what the Jimmy Buffett crowds used to be and have some sand and some little blow-up pools, it might be a heck of a different party than they were anticipating having on Saturday night. But we have a local superhero that's going to turn into one coming up over the next couple of days. Party Animals star from Greendale, Wisconsin, Brady Keiss. Now, I got put on to Brady Keiss put on our radar a couple of weeks ago when our friend Scott Dolphin, our halftime entertainment day in and day out, said, there was a youngster, Brady, who was on my son's Little League baseball team. I think he's playing there. Well, Brady Keiss did play with our friend Scott Dolphin's son, youth baseball back in the Greendale or in the Wilson Park days. He's invited his teammates to Wisconsin and all to enjoy the game. And Keiss was some fans that celebrated on the field at the Wisconsin football game in a 13-10 decision against Washington. He said, I told all my boys, you really got to experience Milwaukee and Wisconsin as a whole. And now they all get to later on. He's a left-handed pitcher who's been a part of the Party Animals since 2024, got connected with the Savannah Bananas when they paid a visit to Franklin 3 years ago. His former roommate and baseball teammate at Columbus State University in Georgia, D.R. Meadows, happened to be a member of the Bananas, invited him to stop by and throw a bullpen for the team's scouts. And Keiss, who had just finished a season a year ago with the Lake Country Dockhounds out in Oconomowoc, was a little apprehensive. He said, I still had a dream set on playing Major League Baseball and all that jazz, but the season had just gotten done. I'm still in shape. What could it hurt? I never saw any videos, never saw any games really for the Savannah Bananas. I went in, checked it out after the bullpen, and I was blown away. This is something I need to be a part of. He had a separate tryout later on into the season, and then he was signed to the Party Animals. And after that, he became a member, been barnstorming the country on their tour. He's made stops at Disney World and played at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, giddy up.
He estimates that close to 80% of the players on the circuit have at least some pro baseball experience, including a couple of guys that have Brewers experience. Jackie Bradley Jr. was the number one overall pick this past year. He's playing for the Indianapolis Clowns. He compared every game, Drew, he said, to like an ALCS game of the energy.
Wow.
Which is a wild thing to say from somebody that won a World Series.
That is wild.
He's like, the in-stadium energy is like that of playoff games every night. But Keiss can be seen hopefully striking out some Loco Beach Coconuts later on this weekend. Pitches with a little bit of the taco meat out. My man's got the jersey kind of Daniel Vogelbach style, Drew, buttoned down past the logo. So he's showing it off a little bit and firing from the left side. Brady Keiss today, our local
There you go.
Current Electric superhero today. Call current.com.
I love that. The way this is laying out, I looked at the itinerary because, everybody, whether you're South Beach Sarian, you need an itinerary for the weekend.
Figure out what you got going on. Yes.
On Saturday, the Party Animals and Loco Beach Coconuts will be doing signings and photos on the plaza outside the ballpark, beginning at 2:00.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
From
Okay.
2 to 2:30, you got the Party Animals players out there for signings and photos. And then the Coconuts players will be doing from 2:30 to 3. And then they have a little VIP availability for people that bought the VIP backstage access.
The super package.
They'll be allowed in. But the stadium gates open at 4:30. And the game starts at 7. So this is it could be an all-day palooza.
Oh, my gosh.
And then after the game, like 9:15, there's a plaza party with more signings, photo ops, and the players, and a show on stage. So plaza party outdoors. Sunday is similar. 10 o'clock, the plaza opens. Players are going to be roaming around for signings. At 11:30, the VIP thing starts. So on Sunday, 12:30, the gates open, on-field entertainment, and the game starts at 3.
At 3, okay.
So you want to watch it in Milwaukee, Channel 18 apparently going to televise it, and the Party Animals YouTube channel, which I'm sure is popular at Billy's house.
Yeah, we get all of these on here. We're big fans of Banana Ball. We throw the flaming baseballs in the house. So I'm excited to see what the energy is like, because I mean, Drew, you mentioned it with the concert series. The Brewers had a concert at American Family Field once a year for a number of years, and then they went a couple of years without it. But you're selling 2 nights out in the middle of the baseball season, and you don't have to throw a stage on the field. That's better for the grounds. Better for the grounds crew, and they're still going to be able to make some cash. So I'm interested to know how much this continues, because, dude, they're selling out 100,000 person football stadiums for the Bananas. This is one of the offshoot teams, and they 2-nighted an American Family Field. It's an impressive deal that they've put together. But they're also like actual games, which I definitely had my mind kind of messed with. I had totally thought it was Harlem Globetrotter style, WWE-esque, where the result was somewhat decided. No, they're going out there actually playing. So they're
actually playing.
I'm excited to see the reaction, and
With
also
the cool rules. Yeah, you'll give us something to talk about.
There will be a number of. I wonder if this will be somewhat akin to the Disney experience, where there's some adults there without kids. I assume there's going to be some adults there just without kids, just want to be a part of it and take it in. Like you said, Tim Kirchin loves baseball more than any human being in the entire world. He's like, it was ridiculous. I loved every second of it, because I think there's a lot of people that just want to be able to figure out what it is and witness it one time.
Yeah, that's just wild. So call Current Electric Superhero.
Place to be.
Not the Savannah Bananas, but Banana adjacent this weekend at American Family Field. That should be pretty fun. We mentioned earlier with Dolph, Parker McCollum played at the Summerfest grounds, at BMO Pavilion on the Summerfest grounds yesterday. Pride Fest is going on this weekend, Polish Fest next weekend.
It's gonna be
We're
a
inside
live
2
weekend.
weeks to Summerfest 2026. It kicks off on June the 18th, and we have a 4-pack of tickets for you right now. Let's go caller number 7. 877-794-1973. Lucky 7 going to the weekend with a 4-pack of Summerfest tickets, thanks to your friends here at the Huddle. We'll take care of that, and then when we come back, we will close up shop with our Happy Place Hemp Wake and Bake story to send us off into a Friday.
This is going to be a real baker.
Friday afternoon. We got a real baker headed up. So give us a call if you want those Summerfest tickets, a 4-pack right now, 877-794-1973. Back to close up shop. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew and Billy closing up shop on a Friday in the huddle. Made it through. Well, still got, I guess, 10 minutes.
Come on, don't jinx us yet. Don't jinx.
No hitter in the dugout.
I already did talk to Hunter. He's like, don't worry. I think you're doing good. Well, don't jinx it now.
Don't jinx it now. Who won the Summerfest tickets? There's no jinx there.
Our friend Mark in Madison is going to Summerfest.
All right.
Or Mark in Oregon, Wisconsin. He wanted to give a little shout out to Oregon. So
he can bring 3 friends, or he can go by himself 4 times. We don't judge.
Yeah, we don't, and they all spend the same. And frankly, Drew, the 3 weekend dates got to be better for the folks that are not right in the area where you're hitting the park and ride every single night.
Yep.
Right, like the Wednesday of days, that's a tough one if you're coming from an hour plus away. Instead of just, the high school kids playing, pong in the backyard and then walking over to the park and ride. So changes it up just a little bit on the mathematics.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 weekends in a row. Summerfest beginning June 18th.
So
the big gig.
Your spot just becomes exponentially better over the next 3 months.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's always awesome.
It is always awesome, but it is just a party for the next 3 months with the festivals rolling through.
Pretty much. And the beer garden is a couple blocks from my place, and just stroll over there.
Well, that's
what
fair.
we did last night.
And
sat and took
Tiki,
the dog.
Tiki's always ready. Always close and ready for it. But this just the wafting and the smell of brats and the
epicenter
chicken being fried up there at whatever charcoal grill establishment you're having over on the grounds. That's one of the best parts.
It's going to be so good. Absolutely. Can't wait. Time for our Wake and Bake story, brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. When I think Summerfest, well, the first time I experimented with HappyPlaceHemp.com, 50 milligram.
Was a walk back from Summerfest?
It was I enjoyed the major cheeseburger like no other. So I highly recommend, use them safely and responsibly, but we love the products at happyplacehemp.com. Rob and Chris, our friends of the program, have been for a long time, and they make the best CBD products you're going to find. Buy them, happyplacehemp.com. Use the code the Huddle for 25% off plus free shipping. You're not going to get a better deal than that anywhere. So check out our guys at happyplacehemp.com. Billy, what do we got for a Wake and Bake story today?
Well, the number one thing that I was thinking of was exactly what you just mentioned there. The major cheeseburger hit differently. The major wings, that bucket of wings walking around Summerfest,
so good.
One of the absolute best things that you're going to enjoy. Yep. But I think we'll call the Wake and Bake story is one of the collisions last night in Major League Baseball wasn't between two teams, it was between two individuals over at first base. Max Muncy and Vargas of the Arizona Diamondbacks, both okay after a terrible collision over at first base. Drew, it looked like Max Muncy was trying to get himself on the old version of Jacked Up that they did on Sunday NFL Countdown. As Vargas is covering over at first base, Muncy two-handed launches him up into the air, although Muncy maybe takes the brunt of the hit and goes down. Both guys ultimately okay. Just some general soreness and shortness of breath as Max Muncy was evaluated for a concussion. Dave Roberts said he won't play Friday against the Angels, but they already had a scheduled day off for him in there as well. He told reporters last night, I hope Vargas is okay. I sent something over to him. I'm hoping he's doing all right. He's not too bad, but just a bad situation that looks like neither of us knew what direction to go. That's a tough moment when you're both headed to one spot. You know that there's going to have to be some kind of give. Drew, in any physical altercation, though, I don't think Max Muncy is going to lose. That's a stocky individual.
He is a stocky fellow.
Rolling down over to first base and absolutely lays this cat out. But I like to know that that's still around. Hey, I apologize for decking you earlier in the game, and I apologize for maybe, breaking your sternum. But I sent over a care package. I sent over a bottle of wine for you and the boys to bust into on the flight home. So enjoy it. It'll be okay.
HappyPlaceHemp.com, code Huddle, 25% off and free shipping. We've covered all the bases. We'll find out later today what transaction the Brewers are going to do with DL Hall shelved and whether Grant Anderson's going on the injured list or whether he's going to play catch and see what's up. The Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin injury report. We're still waiting on Bronson Koenig, Brandon Woodruff. Those things haven't changed that much. Quinn Priester had
the Priester one's a frustrating one.
More positive outing in Arizona, but still on the comeback trail. So thanks to Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, orthowisconsin.com. There is a difference. We made it through, Billy.
We did it. We survived.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Billy, watch for Billy on TV, filling in for me on Saturday night in Milwaukee, WISN 12. And we will see you Monday with Armin in tow. Have a great weekend.
Peace.
Check.
Uno, dos. Check one, 1, 2. Uno, dos. You see it dancing?